day. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily with Steve Sparky Pfeiffer on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Welcome in. It is Wisconsin Sports Daily. See Sparky Pfeiffer. Charlie Hughes on the other side of the glass.
What are you laughing about?
Just this whole thing. I come up to the computer here to do our show, and Mitch Nellis is over on this side, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, why is Mitch Nellis signed in as Tommy for?
I don't know. Interesting. Maybe that could be part of this little conspiracy theory.
Maybe it's not Brandon.
Interesting.
Right? Everybody's mad. Tommy's mad that people are tweeting.
That would be quite the twist.
That would be quite the inside job on it by his own guy getting him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Brandon's been defending himself this entire time, too.
Right. So I come up to the thing here, and I was like, why is it signed in as Tommy? They should be signed in as Mitch. So you're like, man, I can't believe this. Here comes Nellis. Here he comes. He's coming to defend himself. Gave me here the disgusted look on his face that he's got to come running in.
He's got his bag and everything.
It's pretty wild that you're signed in as Tommy over on this computer here. I mean, I know it's Friday and stuff, so like, what's going on, buddy?
Wild's a funny word for it. If WNFL could get their act together and actually have a Comrex,
no,
then we wouldn't have to go through different. Yep, I throw everybody under the box. You know me, Sparky.
Well,
I give no blanks.
I got on here and I saw that it was signed in as him.
Right,
I told Charlie
because we had to connect to Mason at WNFL.
Okay, so I saw it. Charlie's like, "Whoa, you could get in on this, Sparky, if you wanted to get in on it."
Oh, that's true. Oh,
so
I like that.
I did indeed tweet from his account. I did. Yes. I did, and I said I will be nice and not tweet bad things.
Oh,
at Sparky
I like
Radio.
that.
Wow.
Is this your great Propel?
Very nice.
That's Sparky's very nutritious lunch.
Right, I was going to say, where's your diet soda, bro?
Yeah, I will.
Are you trying to get healthier?
Well, this is a Charlie thing. Yeah, Charlie's been on me for it.
He doesn't drink water.
I don't drink water.
Only soda. For
like
3 days.
And now I drink water now, and I will have a soda from time to time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
The bag of Jelly Bellies
water
sitting
gel?
there. The bag of Jelly Bellies sitting there will take me like 2 or 3 weeks to eat those. But,
I stole 3.
That's fine.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
That is why Tommy's in, because we had to connect through his account to WNFL, because you have to connect through the computer.
You could technically connect through your account as well.
I could have, but then I would have had to look up the IP address.
And you didn't
it's
want to
already
do all
bookmarked
that.
in Tommy's.
Tommy and Stalis on the Nicolay Law Talking Text Line 414-677-1250 says Mitch is an evil genius. Oh,
you might be.
I am an evil genius, but it's not me.
If it is you, I mean, the bigger twist would be if Crosby has his password and Crosby's doing it.
Oh, no. And
that would be crazy.
2 different people.
Yes.
And if you guys really know the Crosby family, if it was Molly Crosby who was behind all of this, she's the real evil genius here.
I feel like she a motion picture one.
I feel like she likes Tommy. I don't think she would do that to Tommy.
That's fair.
Yeah.
All right. Sparky, have a great show. Charlie, always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
Enjoy the rest of your day, Mr. Nellis.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't you. Brand says it's not him either. Well, it's got to be somebody. Somebody's got to be doing it. I mean, somebody is clearly messing with the dude, and it's driving him nuts. Would you agree with that? I think it's completely driving him nuts.
Maybe Tommy just is nuts and has been doing it himself.
Nah,
I still think a real twist.
I still think there's a chance it's his girl who's a Cubs fan.
I think so.
I still think that's a real possibility.
She's got the inside track right there.
I think it could be. Coming up on today's show, we'll talk with Connor Thomas, Locked on Phillies. He'll join us coming up at 3:00. Philly's been playing much better. Obviously, they got like Babe Ruth, Kyle Schwarber doing crazy things this year with power numbers. So we'll get to him. Christopher Sanchez right now is the leader probably for the Cy Young award. Again, we're not even 3 months into this, but it's him and Miz right now at the front, and he pitches on Sunday. So we'll talk to him about Christopher Sanchez. So lots to do there. Follow the money at the end with our guy Austin Herdina, like always, in the 440 segment. We are going to start off talking about the Milwaukee Brewers as Miz is on the mound tonight against the Philadelphia Phillies. I'm never going to get this show off the ground, am I? Now Tommy is in here. What?
Do you know The last
Let's see
show
Brandon's gonna drive
was
in and defend himself
impossible.
again.
The last show was impossible if I didn't log in over there.
No, it's not.
Impossible.
Mitch clearly could have gotten the IP address and done it himself.
Impossible. Do you understand that? I literally had to log in so that Crosby could be on the air from WNFL.
Yeah.
And then I was letting Mitch occupy it over there because anyone else, no one else's login credentials would have worked over there.
He did not log out.
You guys are garbage people. Garbage people.
I did tweet from your account.
I know. That's why I came in here.
Well, Thunder wasn't here first because I told Charlie to lead off the show.
Do you know how much Ed's going to hate us when I'm logging out everywhere and you got to make sure everyone has everything that needs to happen?
That's what it should be.
Oh, you are going to be you're going to regret that. You're going to regret it.
When I got in here, I was like, oh, Mitch is logged in as Tommy? I was like, is it Thunder this whole time?
Dude,
and not really?
No,
not
it's
really?
not.
Are you sure it's not your girl?
She's in Alaska right now.
Yeah,
so
but
no.
I mean, she is a Cubs fan.
She is a Cubs fan.
And she does maybe have that little bit of a side to her where she may get some sick humor out of this.
I will tell you guys this, that since I've become this pseudo made up Cubs fan from everyone in the building, the Cubs stink. So you're welcome for that.
Do you want us to buy you a hat?
No, I want you to understand
you
that
if
I am not logged in, that last show doesn't happen.
That
doesn't happen.
That does not affect me. I'm just telling
you. What do you mean? You're the boss.
I walked in and the account was up and the Twitter was looking at me. I'm just saying.
You guys
just
all suck.
And I just want to let you know that I did not do anything.
You absolutely did. You said you signed it Sparky.
Yes. So you knew that I
had
the opportunity and did nothing. Because Charlie on the other side's like, whoa, Sparky, you can get in here if you want to.
Literally,
I did it.
Could not have the last show if I wasn't logged in. Crosby would not have been able to be on.
You sure he would have? If either one of you two knuckleheads would have been like, Sparky, can I get the IP address from Mitch so he can sign
you
in?
know that off the top of your head, I'm sure,
it's
right?
in my phone saved.
Yeah,
you want to know why? Because Rami asks all the time when he has to do the score appearances in Chicago. Yeah. Good stuff.
All right. I hope you guys all have an inconvenient Friday.
Before we get to the mid stuff, I was looking up Jake Bowers where he ranks among first basemen.
Oh, okay. I'm
in
back.
Stats and overall numbers. He's 7th in baseball.
Yes.
7th. I mean, it's 7th in slugging, 7th in OPS, 7th in average. He falls a little bit down to 8th in a couple of categories, but he's top 10 right now. Now, again, Vaughn, in fairness, doesn't have enough at bats to qualify for this.
There's only 6 first basemen that truly make an all-star game, maybe even 4 or 5. So I don't know. 7 might not be good enough.
Yeah, you're talking probably 4 or 5 first basemen. I don't think he makes the all-star game either, but it's still a hell of a feat. Still a hell of a feat to be top 7.
But you're talking about all of MLB. You're talking about all of the National League. You're not talking about first baseman stats.
Just first baseman. 7th
for
amongst first
all
baseman.
of MLB. Yeah, now do the National League, and he's the top for all of them.
Well, we'd have to go back and look at that. But you can sort by position on the MLB website in stats. So I sorted by first baseman, MLB.
Games.
And, how many times did he strike out that last game?
4. Oof, pretty sure you got a 4. Golden sombrero.
Somebody texted me when that was going on, said, do you think the golden horseshoe just fell out of his butt? And I was like, it's only one game.
He has one bad game, and everyone wants to turn on this guy, too.
It's only one game.
He's had 2 months that has been unreal. One of the best first basemen at the plate of anyone in the National League. And he strikes out 4 times in one game, and everyone's like, he's done. He's cooked. It's over.
Do we think Vaughn plays tonight?
I hope. Do you think he plays third base tonight? Is that a better question?
Nah, he doesn't have stones to do that this close to the last game. It'll be another defensive
Melton appearance.
It'll be another defensive replacement in a month or so, probably. I don't think Murphy has the stones to start him.
Really?
Nope.
Are you hoping he's listening right now so you can call him out like that?
I don't care if he's listening or not. I don't, because it's going to take some stones to start him at third base. I think we all agree.
I think it actually takes more stones to continue to throw Luis Rengifo out there, knowing what he has an entire fan base against him on the move.
No different than Joey Ortiz does right now.
I disagree. There are Joey Ortiz stands out there, man.
No.
There are.
No, there's not.
Yeah, yes, there are.
No. The
414.
The people that chant Joey, that's all sarcasm.
No, I'm telling you,
sarcasm.
there are. I'm literally in communication with Brewers fans every day.
Or they drink a lot and they're hammered at the games and they all, let's do it. Let me buy Joey.
No, I'm telling you, there is a group of Joey Ortiz truthers out there, man.
Truthers?
Oh, big time.
You are not a truther if you're behind him playing.
Truthers. But I don't-
There's a
not the
lot of
Joey
Sal
Ortiz,
fans.
yeah.
I'll get with you on
It's
Sal.
the same energy that they put towards Joey with Sal because of his defense. Oh, he's so
but
good
his
on
defense
defense.
hasn't been that great this year.
Don't tell them that.
Well, it's not. I'm
Don't
sorry.
tell them
I hate
that.
to break it to you. He ain't winning a Gold Glove. He ain't winning a Platinum Glove. He's not even being considered for any of those awards right now.
I'm telling you that there are way more Joey Ortiz fans than you know out there, and they come out every 2-hit game. They come out in droves.
Droves? I've never seen one on social media. What is droves to you? Like 3?
No.
Like what is droves? What are
Well,
droves?
first of all, one of your best friends, Tim Allen, is a Joey Ortiz truther.
That is sarcasm.
No, it's
yes,
not.
The Joey Tani stuff or whatever he was saying earlier.
Tim loves Joey Ortiz.
1,000% sarcasm.
He 100% is all in on Joey Ortiz. He's actually given more criticism to his boy Sal Frelick this year as of late than he has towards Joey Ortiz.
I think it's sarcasm. I don't believe him. I've heard him do this crap all year. I think it's complete sarcasm.
The drove was 3,000 sheep or 400 cattle, just in case you were wondering. So.
There are 400 Joey Ortiz fans. Oh,
you
yeah.
have to be sheep to be his fan.
There are 400. Are there 3,000?
I don't know.
That's tough.
I
But
don't know if
there's 400.
I don't know if there's 400.
I think there's closer to 3.
There's
But
400
that's not a
Joey
drove.
Ortiz fans.
That's not a drove. No, that's a couple.
I'm telling you.
No, so you tell me all you want. I don't believe you.
I am going to
Go
make
do your work now.
everyone's life hell in this office.
Why don't you go do some work?
I
Like get the Crosby promo put in, do some stuff. That'd be good. And then you got the leadoff show coming up at 5:00.
Yep.
Probably should get a nap in on the couch before then.
You guys
Get rejuvenated. Get ready for the post game show.
I'll
tonight.
rejuvenate.
Tim is back tonight from Vegas, so you know he's
and
going to
then,
be popping
and then he's
going to
be gone another day right away after
yeah.
too. I know. I take one day off and
Yeah, you're leaving. It's a good idea, really. It's probably the best play. There goes the Cubs fan, Tommy Wirtz. Okay, so let's talk about the Miz. That's what we were going to do. So Miz is on the mound tonight versus the Phillies. Here's a fun Friday topic for you that's not serious, and we can, not get all worked up about. Who is the best player you've seen play for the Brewers in your lifetime? Best player you've seen play. So some of you might be Hank Aaron. Some of you might be Robin Yount. Some of you might be, maybe you think Paul Molitor was better than Robin Yount back in the day. I don't know. So it might be Paul Molitor. It may be Ryan Braun, Christian Yelich, Prince Fielder, whoever you think it is, that person, Ben Sheets, I don't know, whoever you think it may be. The question that I have is, who's the player that you deem as the best player you've ever seen in a Brewers uniform? Then, second question, I know can get confusing. Second question, do you think the Miz will be or could be one of those players for you? Where by the time he's done playing, he's over Robin Yount as best player you've ever seen play. By the time he's done playing, he's over Ryan Braun as best player you've ever seen play. By the time he's done playing, he's over Christian Yelich or whoever it may be. That's the question. Because I take this and I compare this to Giannis. And it was, oh yeah, damn, he's really, really good. And now by the time this is all said and done, it's going to be like, yeah, that was the greatest Buck I've ever seen play. Like, no question, better than Ray, better than Glenn, better than all these guys, best Buck I've ever seen play, right? So for you with Miz, as this is starting, maybe he's not there yet, but do you think he eventually could get there? I think there are some people that will never put a pitcher over a hitter when you ask him this question. That's my thought, but we'll see what we come up with. Nicolay Law Talking text line 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250, streaming live on the socials, Instagram Live, Fan Milwaukee Facebook page, X, and YouTube, where we'd like you to subscribe and smash the like button. That puts a smile on Charlie's face when I say that. So, who's the best player you've ever seen play in a Brewers uniform? And do you think Miz will be or could be that player for you eventually? Maybe you could tell us how far away he might have to be to get there. Nicolay Law Talking text line 414-677-1250. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Sparky here. Welcome back. It is Wisconsin Sports Daily. Steve Sparky Pfeiffer with you. Don't forget, the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network is bigger now. Welcome to the city of Madison. You can now listen to the Fan in Madtown on 94.9 HD2. Your favorite local shows each weekday from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., plus the best in Brewers coverage with the leadoff show in the Potawatomi Sportsbook post-game show. Leadoff show comes up tonight, 5 to 6:30 before Brewers and Phillies from 5 to 6:30 with Tommy Wirtz. And then tonight from 9:30 to 11, it's the Potawatomi Sportsbook post-game show. So keep it tuned to 94.9 HD2, the Fan in Madison, when you're listening to the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Asking you with Miz on the mound tonight, who's the best player you've ever seen play for the Brewers? And do you think Miz will be or could be that player for you eventually? Nicolay Law, talking text line 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. Dugout YouTube chat is there for you as well if you would like to participate there at WI Sports Radio, whether it be on X, Instagram Live, Facebook, or on YouTube. What you got over there, Charlie?
So over there, we're going to start on Facebook, actually. Joey says Robin Yount is the best he's ever seen. If we head down to Brent.
What about Miz? Could Miz catch him, or did he not say?
He didn't say. He just said Robin Yount is the best.
All right.
That's all he said. Brenton over on YouTube says Ryan Braun was an unbelievable hitter. Ben Sheets was a great pitcher. Miz could definitely take over both of them if he stays healthy. He's electric, must-watch TV.
He is electric, much-watch TV. And I'm telling you, it's like an event now. When Miz is pitching, to me at least, it's like, okay, let's make sure we can get home as soon as possible so we can watch him pitch when he makes that start. Now, today, I'm watching youth baseball tonight, so I will not be able to watch that start. You're going to the game.
I'm going to the game.
Oh,
it's going to be fun.
Oh,
I'm excited.
Where are your seats?
I don't really know. My girlfriend, she got like discounted tickets through her work. They're doing like a group thing, so we're going with them. So I'm meeting up.
Tailgating before and all that?
Yeah, they're going at like 4:00 to tailgate, and I'm just going to head out from here and meet up with them.
Are they going to be like drunk by the time
we're
you
gonna
get there?
We're going to find out. I'm my girlfriend's Uber home, so.
Oh, so she might be. All right, that'll be.
That's how she enjoys baseball games.
Yeah,
so,
hey, that's fine.
I like watching them, so I'll be fine.
No, do what you got to do. From the 414, Yelich's MVP season was the best I've ever seen. Pitchers are too difficult to project out years because of possible injuries. Sure. Okay, I get down with that. From the 608, greatest ever, Sean Markham, July 4th, 2011, when he hit a grand slam. Will Miz surpass him? No, because pitchers don't hit anymore. Well, that's the greatest moment. I'm not asking for the greatest moment. I'm asking for the best player that you've seen in a Brewers uniform. Best player you've seen, period. Like if I asked you who was the best Packers player you've ever seen, some of you may say Rodgers, some of you may say Favre, some may say Charles Woodson, some may say Reggie White. Everybody may have different takes on who the best player is in their mind that they've watched play in a Packers uniform. So I'm asking pretty much the same thing for the Brewers, and then asking, do you think Miz can eventually be that guy for you? Carrie in Tosa says, best player, Yount. Always will be the best I've seen. Miz will be high, but not that high. Pitchers don't last as long. Carrie from Tosa. See, this is what I'm talking about. Pitchers normally do not ever get into this category where it's best player I've ever seen in baseball. Normally, it's always going to be a hitter. It just is. Aaron Judge, Derek Jeter. What if you're a Yankees fan, right? Those are the guys that you're going to come up with, and maybe you don't bring up CC Sabathia one way or the other. If we're talking about short stretch of time, Sabathia's half season is the best stretch I've ever seen from anybody. Period. End of story. I don't care about your MVP years of players that we may have had here at some point. That was by far the single greatest thing I've seen from a Brewers player in my life. And Yount's been an MVP and all of that. I get all of that. And I watched Yount, I watched Molitor and so forth. Maybe not early on, like 70s early on, but towards the end, mid to late 80s into the 90s, watched all those guys. For me, I think Miz has every opportunity to be that guy at the end of the day. I mean, just think about it for a second, y'all. If he throws up, I don't know, 4 or 5 seasons of an ERA of around 2 and wins a couple of Cy Youngs and is the best pitcher in baseball year in and year out, to me, that's far greater than being a really good hitter and winning 1 MVP versus being the best pitcher in baseball in an era where pitching is killing it right now, especially in the National League. When you look at Ohtani and some of these other guys, to be that dude that leads that crop of players would be insane to be able to watch that. And a guy that's throwing it harder than everybody else and doing crazy things that we just don't see.
Right. And I think if we had it back over to Facebook, Joey responded to your question earlier what he thinks about Miz. He says, don't think a pitcher will be the greatest player of all time. Great show, guys.
Yeah. And again, that's okay. We can have that. That's why I kind of wanted to ask the question. I wanted to see who would be able to get into that conversation. Bob, stuck in traffic in Milwaukee. You're next on Wisconsin Sports Daily. What's up, Bob?
Hey, Sparky.
Where are you at, Bob? Bob, where are you at?
Silver Spring and 43.
So there's other people stuck with you in traffic?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. See, that's a free traffic report there. You're from Bob, stuck in traffic by Silver Spring. May want to avoid that. All right, Bob, what you got?
Yeah, I agree with you about Miz, but to me, the problem is pitchers aren't playing every day. So for me, it was Paul Molitor.
Paul Molitor is that guy for you. Yeah, that's what it would be for numerous members of my family, too. There are a lot of big Paul Molitor fans in my household when I was growing up, for sure. But you don't think Miz can potentially get him?
Not from all the voters, I'd say no.
No. Okay. Sounds good. Thanks for the call. Let me ask you this. For those of you that say can't be a pitcher. Fair. But now I'm going to try and see if I can convince you. What if they win a World Series and he's dominant in the postseason when they win it?
I think that's pretty important. And
they've never won a World Series. They've never won a World Series.
I think some people, you mentioned MVPs earlier, and so some people would argue that Raleigh Fingers could be the greatest player they've ever seen in a Brewers uniform because he has an MVP and a Cy Young as a reliever and was the key piece to leading them to that World Series attempt, at least.
And potentially the key reason why they didn't go to the World Series as well. But that was a short amount of time, right? So a lot of times, I think, when you say greatest that you've seen play, normally it's a player that was there for a while, not a shorter stretch of time.
A peak could be talked about there too, in my mind. I think if you have a super high peak, so CC Sabathia, I think is a fair answer because he had that moment in that Brewers uniform. That's the greatest player you've ever seen in that Brewers uniform. I think that's fair to say that those guys deserve the recognition too in those moments.
I got another one over there on the Dugout YouTube chat too.
Aaron says Jeremy Burnitz.
That was my guy, man.
I just got a card of him in MLB The Show.
Did you? I made a lot of money from Tim Allen off of Jeremy Burnitz and our pick to click when we used to go to Brewers game. We always, I don't know, maybe you guys do this too. You do a pick to click, right? So you come up with whatever your scoring system is going to be for singles, doubles, triples, homers, on base, all that, whatever it is. And then you and your buddies throw in, $5 a person, whatever it is. And whoever has the best score collects the money at the end of the game.
All right.
Man, there were times we'd be driving to the game. We're running a little bit late, pulling in the parking lot. I get Jeremy Burnitz. He hits a home run before we even get in the game. He's like, dude, I hate you. And I'm telling you, man, that dude made me so much money from Tim Allen back in the day. So much money. Very, very funny. Let's see. Got another one here from the 414. Robin Yount is the best I've seen. I don't think Miz will surpass him due to longevity. Either his arm will blow up or the Brewers won't be able to afford him. Yes, I would agree that I don't think they're going to be able to afford him by the time his deal is done. But again, you've got several years left at this. You're talking about another, 5-6 years? I got to have to look, but it's going to be a minute here before he goes anywhere.
And I do think a pitcher can be that greatest player in that time frame for sure, especially if that guy has that all-time multiple Cy Young peak. Randy Johnson, I think, could be the best player on a franchise in a lot of people's minds. I think you could say Clayton Kershaw could be the best player in the Dodgers franchise in some people's minds. Those types of players, if you get that good, that's pretty amazing.
You brought Randy Johnson. Jonah from River Falls. I know he hasn't been in a Brewers uniform, but I haven't seen Miz take down a bird with a baseball yet. Yeah. You remember that video of Randy Johnson throwing a pitch and literally a bird just all of his feathers into the air from a pitch from Randy Johnson. Yeah, no, we have not seen that yet from the Miz. From the 414, how about Cecil Cooper? And yes, the Miz could be the greatest player I've seen. All right, 414. I like that. 920, another vote for Robin Yount as well. Kerry from Tosa comes back. Yount had 2 MVPs from shortstop as an outfielder. I actually have the Sports Illustrated when he won MVP as a shortstop, and he was on the cover of SI.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very cool. My aunt saved it for me back
idea.
in the day. Yeah, it was awesome. From the trail on the north side, Braun, it would be his best. Miz can be, but he needs a few things. Number 1, health. Agreed. Number 2, years of dominance with hardware. And 3, help from upper management to now make it to the World Series. And he shines on the biggest stage if he pitches for years like Ryan, Randy Johnson, and dominates in the World Series. Absolutely. Ms. Ken, FYI, I agree with your CC take. Thank you, Trill, for chiming in from the north side. Let's go to James on the south side of Milwaukee. You're next on Wisconsin Sports Daily. What's up, James?
Hey, guys. Hey, I apologize if something was said before.
That's fine.
I was listening at work, but I just got in my truck and I'm heading home. But I just heard you say something about CC, and I don't know if it has to be longevity, but the greatest player while he was here, for the time that he was here, was CC Sabathia.
Yep.
My second would be Yount for longevity because he played here his whole career. But what CC did, and it was like new for us to go out and get somebody like that and to just walk on his back. And then when he got screwed out of that no-hitter, and
against the
I don't know if
Pirates.
you guys remember that.
Against the Pirates.
On that, that one at first base where it was clearly he was, and for that, I would say CC, just for the amount of time he was here, for what he did and what he brought to this community, I would say him. Otherwise, Yount, if that's fair.
Very good. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. I would say that Sabathia will always hold a place in Brewers fans' hearts that lived through that and all of that, especially if you remember the struggle of all the years prior to them finally making the playoffs and then going into a free agency year. He's pitching on every third day at the end of the season. They fired Ned Lee, put Swaim in charge. Yount comes back to be a bench coach, all of that stuff. Like, I'll never forget all of that. That it was incredible. But so, yeah, for that short amount of time, it was the most dominant stretch that I've seen. I've never seen anything like that. Ben Sheets was amazing. Teddy Higuera was remarkable. Like, they've had really, really good pitchers. Corbin Burns, when he was on, he was damn good. I mean, they've had a lot of good pitchers. I just, including Sabathia, like that would be a guy that we should get on and be like, all right, man, tell me what the Miz. Like, what do you think? What do you see out there? Like, how different is that look compared to like how dominant you were? Because he was dominant back in the day. Charlie, who is that player for you?
I think that player for me, and I guess when I think about this question, the other factor that I put into it with like peak and tenure, I think like personal attachment to the player kind of matters in a question like this, because you're asking everybody personally, who is the greatest player you've ever seen. So I think that holds a certain piece of the pie to me. Right. Yes. I think Prince Fielder, in my mind, is probably the greatest player I've ever seen. And I don't think, like, defensively, he was really adding all that much, obviously, speed-wise. So, like, just physically, he probably wasn't the greatest player, but the way he hit was just enamored me when I was so young. I would also say, like, I'm wearing a Carlos Gomez jersey. When he had his peaks with the Brewers, he was a near MVP type player. Like, watching those types of players during that type of run, that type of peak is just so exciting. And again, just holds such personal memories. I think that takes a piece of that pie. Jacob Mizrachi's getting there, man. Sometimes when I watch him pitch, I tell myself I'm going to remember that game in 20 years. And that's something that I think matters a lot with Jacob Mizrachi.
I will be very surprised if he does not throw a no-hitter in a Brewers uniform by the time this is done. Like, I would be really, really surprised if he doesn't throw one. If you told me he'd throw 3 to 5 before he's done, I'd be like, yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, probably right. And, you know, the 3 to 5, maybe 2 of them are perfect games. Yeah, okay, yeah, fine. I believe you.
If that's the case, he's going to have 2 Cy Youngs in that time too, at least. Yeah. And I believe you on that too.
I'm telling you, he is unbelievable here. From the 414, Stormin Gorman, mostly because he could down a 12-ounce beer like a pro. I love Corbin Thomas, so you're not going to get.
And again, that's more of like a personal attachment type of answer. That you love that.
Back in the day, he's sitting at the bar stool next to you having beers after the game.
Oh, that's so cool.
That doesn't happen now. From the 608, a guy who plays once every 5 days can't be the greatest player in your franchise history. Cut and dry. See? There you go. And that is, I would say, probably the most common answer if you talk to a baseball fan. Yeah, we need pitching. Yeah, we need studs. Yeah, we need aces. But we really don't respect him at the end of the day, and they'll never be in that category for us because we want the position players. Even though without great pitching, you ain't weighing in crap.
No, and sometimes, again,
studs.
That can be the most important piece to a championship team. Clayton Kershaw, again, was so important to those earlier Dodger teams. Steven Strasburg was so important to that one Nationals team that won in 2019. a lot of these guys hold certain importance, especially if you have that big of an impact, that I think you can be that for that city and for those fans.
Got another one, the Dugout YouTube chat from Jeff chiming in again on YouTube at WI Sports Radio. Same with X, same with Instagram Live as we stream live.
Jeff says the three-headed monster of Burns, Woody, and Peralta. Miz can and I think will be better than all three of them eventually.
1,000% will be better than all three of them. No doubt about it. Hey, do you know it's not all about just about betting in the Potawatomi Sportsbook? Huge food menu and options there at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. All-day brunch with steak and eggs, steak and bagel sandwich, pancakes, and more. Wisconsin-style appetizers that feature a lot of cheese, of course. It's got all things chicken like wings and tenders, build your own burgers, desserts, and pastries made right there at the Potawatomi Sports book and the Potawatomi Casino Hotel each and every day, highlighted by that MVP Turtle Sundae. Tons of cold beverages to go with your all-star meal. Got to be 21 or over to enter the casino. Bet above the rest with the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We'll follow the money with Austin Herdenia coming up today at 4:45 like we do each and every Friday. Coming up next, we're going to switch gears. It's becoming more and more obvious that it may not be the Miami Heat, that it's probably not going to be the Miami Heat, that it's looking more like it could be a different team for the Milwaukee Bucks. And there is a question that needs to be asked if the reports are true. That's coming up next. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Talking Giannis trade next. Welcome back. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily. Steve Sparky Pfeiffer, Charlie Usen producing. Happy Friday. Hope you are well. Hope you got plans for the weekend. That'll be fun. Charlie, what you got going on this weekend?
I'm going to the Brewers game tonight.
Right.
So that's first. And then tomorrow I got Garbedian on golf from 7 to 9 a.m. with Chuck Garbedian. Then you can follow that up with College Sports Weekly with Don Wachillis and Dan Underberg from 9 to 11. So I got those in the morning. And then it was my girlfriend's dad's birthday yesterday.
Oh.
So we're going down to Illinois after that to celebrate his birthday. We're going to the zoo, I think.
Ooh.
And then Sunday
Okay.
I'm working at the brewery. So it'll probably be a lot of World Cup, watching Brewers games. It'll be fun.
I love going to zoos. I'm all in on the
The
zoos.
zoo is like one of my favorite places.
Love going to
I go
zoos.
at least once a summer.
Yeah.
Hopefully more than that. Though.
Very, very cool. Once you have kids, you'll really like it. Okay, so this is the deal. So there is a growing belief and some momentum that the Boston Celtics are really going to try and get this thing done here and get Giannis. And they're pretty much willing to do about anything to try and get this done outside of moving Jason Tatum, right? So they want Giannis and Tatum, and they want to kind of restart this window for them and the identity of what it looks like versus taking 63s every game, which, again, has gotten them there before. So if this is to be true, that this is the direction that we are headed, there is also some talk, speculation, that the Bucks would not want Jaylen Brown, apparently, and that they would want to move Jaylen Brown to a third team. And we had Keith Smith on yesterday from Spot Track, which, again, if you missed it, very, very good. Go back, listen to it, wisportsradio.com, or wherever you download your favorite podcast, simply search for Wisconsin Sports Daily, and you can listen to the Keith Smith interview.
Or at WI Sports Radio on YouTube.
That as well, yes. Thank you. So if that's the case, that then means that you would get younger players, a couple of younger guys, right? Like the Atlanta Hawks, a couple of younger guys from the Hawks, maybe. Rich Deshay, is that how you say his name?
Riz Deshay, you're getting there. You're getting closer.
I look at that name and I get like nauseous because I know I struggle pronouncing it. I hate that. I hate that name. But anyways, so a couple of young guys maybe from them or from somewhere else, and then you're going to get more draft picks to go along with it. So Boston will probably still give you a couple of ones, 1 or 2 ones. You would still get a couple of ones from another team. So you eventually could walk out of this with the same type of package that you would get from Miami, but just different players, different picks in order to make this work. Here's the question. Would you rather have Jaylen Brown and potentially like a 1 or whatever and a straight up deal, and you keep Jaylen Brown and build around Jaylen Brown going forward? Or would you rather have the younger players and picks and let the proven player go play somewhere else and go with the question marks and the deal for Giannis? Which way would you rather see this go for the Bucks? Nikolai Law talking text line 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250 on the socials at WI Sports Radio. On ESPN, they've got all these trade proposals and ideas leading up to the draft and so forth of what teams could do. I will say this. There's an interesting one on here involving the Bucks and the Thunder, where the Thunder would move up from 12 to get to 10. And in the Bucks would go down to 12, plus they would get 17 in the first round. So they would get 12 and 17, and the Thunder would move up to 10.
That's it?
That's what do you mean that's it?
That's it? Like, I don't know.
That's the deal. I'd do that in a heartbeat. I wouldn't think twice about it.
I wouldn't do that.
Oh, absolutely.
If the Thunder want somebody at 10, that tells me that there's probably going to be a pretty good player at 10.
Yeah, they want Mara.
And if you have a feeling
I don't want Mara, they can have him.
And if you have a feeling that you can trade up farther still, which I think a lot of people do have that feeling since they worked out Darius Acuff and Mikal Brown Jr., they got those guys into the building. I think that shows that they're more likely going to do that than trade back with this pick, especially just for 2 picks.
I saw a mock draft that had Mikal Brown going 5, which seems insane to me. I like Mikal Brown a lot. I just don't know if he's 5, but so there's that. So if let's say that happens, and again, nobody knows, but let's say that happens. Now you're at 12 and 17, and then you're able to add another 1 or 2 first-round picks to go along with that in this draft, to where you potentially could get out of this draft with 3 or 4 first-round players. Like, that would be insane. You start talking about building for the future and so forth, yeah, you're going to stink, obviously, early on. But you potentially, if you are good at what you do, which we have questions about John Horst being good at what he does as far as doing this in the draft because he doesn't have a great draft track record. Think about that. You could have 12, 17, and like 2 other first-round picks for this year's draft that you would get in a Giannis deal. You could potentially have like 3 or 4 first-round picks to start the reload, rebuild, whatever it is that you're planning on doing in a pretty solid draft. Now, star potential probably at the very tippy top 4 or 5, whatever you want to call it. And then after that, a little bit of a fall off, but still some pretty good talent. So that is a possibility too in a direction that they could go. Asking you, would you rather have Jaylen Brown or younger players and picks in a situation where Brown would go to another team in a 3-team deal? Because those are the reports out there now that the Bucks don't really want Jaylen Brown, that they would rather have younger players that they have control over and draft picks, and they would move on from Jaylen Brown. Joe in Fort Myers, Florida, you're next on Wisconsin Sports Daily. What's up, Joe?
Well, I'd rather go younger and build around a younger team. You're under control for a little bit longer. You're not spending $50 million on that man coming to Milwaukee. He'd probably be a great player, but I think you could do a lot better with younger players and draft picks and get it done that way.
Joe, are you from Wisconsin? How'd you find us?
I've lived in Wisconsin for 50 years. I moved to Florida because I got sick and tired of shoveling snow.
I get it. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, my girl has the same feeling that she wants us to move to Florida or Arizona as well. So I understand that. I mean, down there in Florida, there's a lot of talk of Miami's doing it. Now in the last 24 to 48 hours, now all of a sudden Heat fans are reeling a little bit here and concerned that they're going to lose this deal.
Well, I think talk down here a little bit too is they're looking at getting Jaylen Brown, dealing him to Chicago for the 5th pick. I would take that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, 4th pick. Yeah.
Or 4th pick. Yeah. I would take that in a heartbeat.
That's what I brought up on this radio show. Joe, thanks for the call.
It'd be dangerous if you were
somebody stealing my stuff down in Florida. Y'all listening on YouTube and stealing my stuff? Somebody else had the same idea I had?
Maybe.
I haven't seen anybody else even come up with a Chicago idea.
Maybe.
We literally made it up on the show.
You're a smart guy. There's other smart guys around. Maybe they're just thinking along the same way.
No, people are stealing our stuff, Charlie. People are stealing our stuff. Trell, north side of Milwaukee. You're next on Wisconsin Sports Daily. What's up, Trell?
What's going on, Sparky?
Oh, you sound happy. Giddy almost on a Friday.
I got good news. Okay, so first thing, let me answer the question. I want the younger players and the picks, of course.
Yep.
And Sam Amick said on his what's name that the Bucks are looking to have a rebuild, a full rebuild, young players and draft picks for the foreseeable future where they can build this team. And the other things that I'm not quite sure if you heard, I was watching Locked On Bucks last night, I think it was. Justin Garcia and Camille Davis said that they are hearing that the Bucks are enamored with Darius Jacobs Jr.
That's who we both want him.
And that's who we wanted. So I got happy. They didn't think so. I think both of them are somehow enamored with Rollins, and they're not sure about being enamored with Jacobs. But they said that's the news, and he does the Bucks game. So
this is the thing.
Take his word. I was waiting to hear that if that was something to that, but it's got to be something to it now. So
last night on X, there was a post about Darius Acuff and working out for the Bucks, and it wasn't from Lockdown. It was from some other source on X. And I'm like, hey, if they're going to trade Giannis, this would be great, a great building block to go forward with. And immediately people got mad at me and were like, he doesn't play any defense. People are tweeting me video of his lack of effort on defense.
I may have plead the 5th. Darius Acuff.
And my response back was, I don't care that he doesn't play defense in college. They need 2 premium scorers if they're going to contend and win anything. And that dude can score against anybody at this point. So that's why you want Acuff. And then you tell Jenkins, figure out how to have him play defense when he gets here.
Yeah, and maybe that's why Garcia and them are against it too. But my whole thing is that John Moran wasn't a great defender when he came in, and right. Taylor Jenkins' system had made that work. So I don't agree with that, man. I want premium talent.
Yep, agree.
He's definitely premium talent.
Thank you very much. Take care, Trell. Yeah. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm all in. You know how happy I'm going to be if they end up with Acuff? You have any idea?
Andrew Vaughn at third base?
It might be more than Andrew Vaughn at third base. It might be more than Andrew Vaughn at third base. They end up there as
You almost woke up the whole house for Andrew Vaughn.
Yes, I did.
at third
Yes, I
base.
did. She what happened? Thought something was wrong or something. Oh, nothing. Andrew Vaughn's playing at third base. What? Who cares? Yeah, that did happen. Okay, take a quick timeout. Coming up on the other side, let's talk about the Crew with Connor Thomas from Locked On Phillies. I was on their morning show today with him at 97.5 The Fanatic in Philadelphia. Now he gets to come on our show and talk about it. It's coming up straight ahead. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook here on a Friday afternoon. Hope all is well. Let's talk about the Crew is next.
Some shows talk about one team. Other shows barely talk sports. This show will talk Packers, Brewers, and Bucks. Every day. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily with Steve Sparky Pfeiffer on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Welcome in. Hope you are well. Here on a Friday afternoon, June 12th. June is almost halfway done. Goodness. Does not stop. Does not stop. Coming up this hour, we'll talk about the crew. Connor Thomas of Locked On Phillies. Charlie's getting him ready to go right now. Coming up in the next segment, I had somebody, like I said earlier, people were getting mad at me about wanting a cup and so forth. Then I had somebody else tweeting at me about how good they think this team is and how underplayed how good this team is without Giannis could be going forward. So we'll dive into that. Charlie Sounds today coming up at 3:40. Don't forget the 4 o'clock hour. Plead the fifth, baby. Brought to you by Habish, and Rotier. Your chance to tell somebody just to shh, be quiet. Keep your mouth shut. We do it each and every Friday. Plead the fifth. Again, brought to you by Habish, and Rotier. Let's go.
It's time to talk about the crew. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Brewers and Phillies, 3-game set at American Family Field starts tonight. Just got word from the Milwaukee Brewers that Tanner Banks will be the opening pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies before Andrew Painter takes the mound for the Phillies against Miz tonight. So joining us now to talk about those Phillies, he is Connor Thomas, Locked On Phillies, also does mornings 97.5, The Fanatic in Philadelphia. Follow him on X at Connor Thomas 97.5. Connor, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Always appreciate it.
So I was on with you earlier this morning. We were kind of talking about it from the Brewers' perspective. So I figured we'd flip the script and now talk about it a little bit from the Philly perspective. My first question, because obviously it just happened here in the last few minutes, how often is Philly using an opener in their games this year?
It's been rare. It's not a typical strategy they've used, even with the managerial change going from Rob Thompson to Don Mattingly. You haven't seen it very much. Part of the reason they're doing is because Andrew Painter has struggled mightily in his recent starts. And as a rookie, there's only so many options you have that you try and avoid shooting the guy's confidence. Now, there are thoughts about potentially sending him down to work on some stuff, but the Phillies don't have a lot of organizational depth in the starting pitching ranks. So this is Don Mattingly's way of trying to preserve his confidence while keeping him somewhat at the major league level. Essentially what this is saying is we don't have faith in him to go out there and get the outs needed to put a quality start together. So we'll see if this new strategy works. And if not, it could be a demotion for Andrew Painter.
Talking about the Philadelphia Phillies, I would assume nationally, and everybody knows obviously the one name, Bryce Harper, for sure. And he is having one heck of a year so far this year as well and is in that all-star conversation.
Yes, he is. And that's something that he had a lot of talk about in this offseason with Dave Dombrowski after the Phillies were eliminated by the Dodgers in the NLDS, questioning whether or not Bryce was still an elite baseball player. And he wore a not elite shirt in a batting practice in the offseason. The fan base has been talking about it. He's been asked about it. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a quote unquote elite season from Bryce Harper because the two-time MVP has that high of a bar, but he's just about on his career averages. And for a guy that should be a Hall of Famer one day, being on your career average mark is a pretty darn good season for Bryce Harper. He also, in Toronto, the series the Phillies just finished up on Wednesday, drove the ball the opposite way with power more than we've seen recently from him, which normally when Bryce is getting ready to break out, that's what you see. Finding a way to drive the ball deep to left field and even hitting a home run in the final game of that series out to left in Toronto. That's a sign he's getting hot. I think he's set up for a good stretch here, and it could start in Milwaukee.
He turns 34 in October. This cat's got 5 years left on this deal with Philadelphia. Is there a hesitation of him actually finishing this deal in Philadelphia?
Some people have that. I've never felt that. He's said since he came to Philadelphia, part of the reason that he chose this city was because he wanted somewhere to be for the rest of his career. And I don't think there's ever been a situation, even with the comments from Dave Dombrowski this offseason, where the situation has become so tenuous that we've considered him moving out of Philadelphia. He has a no trade clause, so he would have to cause that from his end in order to exit the city. And this is still a team very much in the World Series contention window. I have no idea why he would want to go anywhere else. He hasn't voiced that himself. It's more fan speculation or media speculation that he could go anywhere else. But the other thing, too, is with the DH, and I know Kyle Schwarber currently is filling that position for the Phillies, with that being an opportunity to use at this point across Major League Baseball, guys' careers, especially power hitters or close to power hitters, have been extended, and you can still get high-level production from big-time contract players in that spot. So I don't see any reason why he shouldn't finish out his time on that contract here in Philly.
Kyle Schwarber, for those Brewers fans that don't know, former Cub, obviously 33 years old. He's not a spring chicken either. Last year, 56 homers, 132 RBIs. This dude sitting here on June 12th is already at 24 homers. It's kind of call him Babe Ruth of baseball this year. I mean, this is absolutely remarkable to me that he is doing the things that he is doing. I would assume it's probably normal, I guess, for Phillies fans at this point.
It is, but it's not normal for Kyle Schwarber when you look at his career. So his career high mark before signing with the Phillies 5 years ago was 38 home runs.
Yep.
He's never had a season below his career high in Philadelphia. Jason Stark, Hall of Fame baseball writer, we talk to him sometimes over on our station, called him the greatest power hitter free agency signing in the history of baseball, which is high praise from a guy who's seen a lot of baseball. And that's essentially what he's been. He's on pace for another 50-plus home run year this time out. And as he gets older, he just ages like a fine wine. Last year, setting a major league record for single-season home runs from a left-handed batter off of a left-handed pitcher. He continues to add to his game. And June has been one of those months where the numbers really skyrocket for Kyle Schwarber. So we saw him go yard in the series finale in Toronto. He's another guy that I think is getting ready for one of his signature hot stretches.
We're talking about the crew with Connor Thomas, Locked On Phillies, 97.5 The Fanatic in Philadelphia, here on Wisconsin Sports Daily. Steve Sparky Pfeiffer with you. We talked about Painter tonight. Tomorrow, it's Aaron Nola. He has been struggling this year as well.
Oh, last year, too. You could just look back at the past, 12 months for Aaron Nola, and it has been a pretty tough run of it, from injuries and everything going on last season that caused him to miss a significant amount of time. The velocity has dropped. He's on a long-term contract here in Philly as well, and there is no way out of that one. The only chance that the Phillies have to get something out of that contract is if he significantly improves, and I don't think he has the juice left in the arm to turn back the clock. The weird thing with him is he's almost a victim of his own success. He was a workhorse for this team for years, and having that many innings that you're throwing year after year, I think has led to a quicker breakdown of his ability to, really just find that velocity that he used to have, the movement that he used to have. He had a stretch before his previous start where he had gone out 3 straight starts of no walks, quality starts. So there is a little bit of light there that you could see with Aaron Nola, but more often than not, he's been a rough start for the Phillies too. Their rotation is really carried by the guy that you're going to see in the final game of this series.
Mr. Sanchez, it is in the final game going against Harrison for the Brewers. That is going to be a great one at American Family Field on Sunday afternoon. Right now, I think the national narrative is he is the front runner in front of Miz for that Cy Young Award, but I got a feeling it's going to be nip and tuck the rest of the way. What makes him so special?
Honestly, it's one pitch, and it's the changeup. It is the singular best pitch in baseball. You can take anything Miz throws with the fastball, Skeens, Scooble. The single best pitch in Major League Baseball right now is Christopher Sanchez's changeup, and he goes to it a lot. And he only throws 3 pitches. He doesn't try to do too much, but he's gone through a steady ascent. Sometimes you'll see pitchers have a really great breakout season, something like you're seeing the Miz have this year up in Milwaukee, which everybody should be excited about. But then you can see the typical backslide, 1 step back, 2 steps forward. Sanchez has been on such a linear growth path since becoming a true starter for the Philadelphia Phillies. And with his velocity increase, he went from sitting 92, 93 to 96, 97 over the course of last year's offseason going into the 2025 season. There's nothing he can't do on the mound, and the swing and miss stuff is elite when he tunnels with fastball and changeup.
Other than looking at the rest of these guys, Brandon Marsh has been going crazy here lately, so we know how good he is. A guy that the Brewers fans had their eye on last year and maybe in the offseason of maybe the Brewers can make a trade because they need help at third base is Alec Boehm, and he has not had that great of a year either when you look at his numbers.
It's wild for him because he's such a tough player to evaluate. Nobody knows what to make of Alec Boehm here in Philadelphia. And he's a guy that when he struggles, he has a tough time pulling out of slumps. The mental focus part of the game has not been his biggest strong suit in his time here in Philadelphia, but he's an undeniably talented hitter. He was an all-star starter a couple of years back, and he's been close to a 100 RBI guy a couple times in his career. What you've seen this year from him, he's had some off-the-field stuff going on that I think has really affected him. I'm not sure if you're aware of the legal proceedings dealing with his parents and where his money has gone. There's been some weird stuff going on in the life of Alec Boehm that he's had to deal with. And he's also in a contract year where he's set to make potentially a lot of money. So a lot of stuff weighing on the guy. What I will say is in the last 7 days, he has had 10 RBIs, which I saw that number yesterday, and that floored me. It doesn't feel like he's gotten that hot, but he could be on the verge of finding his typical form. You got to hope so in Milwaukee, especially when you're facing the pitching that the Phillies are going to face. But he's a guy that the right-handed bats for the Phillies have been weak this year, and he and Trey Turner are the two main culprits.
Since the Phillies made that managerial change, what has Don Mattingly done different than maybe the previous manager?
Pretty much nothing.
That's
this is a fight that I've been fighting on Philadelphia Sports Talk Radio for over a month now. He's doing the same things. This team, you know the talent level when you see the Phillies roster. They've had regular season success. They've had a little bit more in the past, but still, this is 4 years ago. They went to the World Series. 3 years ago, they were in the NLCS. They have the talent to be able to be successful, and they're back-to-back division winners in the NL East, which is not the world's easiest division. The problem was they were sleepwalking through the year, and Rob Thompson's message got stale. So you make the change, and you just bring in a different voice. The one thing that is different with Don Mattingly, and I know you guys have seen this with previous managers in Milwaukee, having a guy that played at the major league level is something that players sometimes respond to more than someone who is a minor league guy, a career coach. And Donnie Baseball, Don Mattingly, clearly has the resume. So there may be something to that. But as far as the actual approach of what the day-to-day job of a manager is, he's not doing anything different. The team just got a wake-up call because of a big move by the organization, and it's paid off.
We know Dombrowski likes to push chips in, not scared to make a big deal and go get some hefty talent, regardless of what the price tag is. Are there big name guys or a big chip that you think Philly might get in on here between now and the trade deadline?
The only two big-name right-handed bats, and the Phillies need outfield help. Adolis Garcia going down in the final game of that series with the Blue Jays does not help. And they went out and they traded for Derek Hill, a career platoon guy from the Chicago White Sox. They did that on the off day yesterday. That shows you how desperate they are to just find warm bodies that are major league caliber. So if I'm looking at right-handed outfield bats, there are two big-time names, either Mike Trout, if he finally decides he doesn't want to play for that Angels organization again, or Byron Buxton, who would have to choose his destination to get out of Minnesota. I don't see either of those as likely. And the right-handed bat market, whether it's outfield or if you're looking for the left side of the infield, which I know you brought up with the Brewers this morning with us, those players might just not exist. The CBA being renegotiated and the potential looming lockout changes things a lot from how aggressive teams could be. The expanded playoffs change things a lot from who still believes they're in the race. And the trade deadline in Major League Baseball is way too early. But again, this year, you're going to have a lot of teams in the mix at the time of the deadline, which reduces the number of teams that would be willing to sell off quality players. I don't think there's an impact bat that'll be made available. And if there is, there's going to be a lot of teams in.
I'm with you. I don't think there's going to be a lot of big thumping bats out there either. And that is why in the last game against the Athletics, Andrew Vaughn ended up playing a half inning at third base towards that end of that game. If that game goes to extra innings, so it's only a one-run game, he would have had to be there the rest of the game. And Vaughn obviously is hitting like 365, something like that. Is tearing the cover off the ball still. And if they get desperate, I just wonder whether or not they may continue to try with him at third base to get that bat into the lineup over Luis Rengifo or David Hamilton.
There are a lot of teams having to get creative right now. I've heard people talking about maybe acquiring a first baseman like Christian Walker and then moving Bryce Harper back to the outfield, which I don't think is going to happen. But if you think the Brewers are between a rock and a hard place with a couple of positions they need to fill, so are the Phillies. So is the rest of baseball if you're not the Los Angeles Dodgers right now.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Connor Thomas, Locked On Phillies. Follow him on X, Connor Thomas 975. Thank you so much for coming on, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks, man. I always appreciate it. You guys have a good one.
You betcha. Take care. There he is. Connor Thomas on the guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call. That is all. Coming up next, we're going to hop back into a little Bucks conversation here because I had a tweet last night tweeted at me. I'm going to read it on the air to y'all because this person was not happy with me and not really happy with me, not happy with the national media and the narrative about what is on this roster for the Bucks and how good he thinks this Bucks roster might actually be compared to what everybody else thinks. We'll jump into that straight ahead. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Sparky with you. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily. See Sparky Pfeiffer with you. Charlie Sounds of the Day still to come in the next segment. Wendy's invented the iconic spicy chicken sandwich. Wendy's new spicy chicken sandwich is crispier, more flavor-packed than ever. And the breading, even crispier. Flavor inside, loud outside. 9 peppers and spices give it that bold, layered heat. Wendy's spicy chicken. Order in the Wendy's app today. We're going to get into some conversation about the Bucks and this tweet that I got. Before I do that, I want to read this text message that I got from Tommy and Salas. I'm assuming he's joking, but when we were talking earlier about me being excited about Darius Acuff and all that,
right?
He responds back, Joe Alexander level of excitement, question mark.
Were you hyped up about Joe Alexander?
Absolutely hated that pick. In fact, I walked out of that press conference at the Cousins Center while he was talking. I was so mad. So didn't like the pick at all. They only brought in 2 players for workouts. They didn't draft the other guy either. He also was a bust. So it was those 2 guys. The problem with all of this was they had just signed, I believe it was Richard Jefferson at forward. So what are we doing? Why? Do you know who their second round pick was that year?
Who?
Luke Richard Baumute.
He was pretty good for the Bucks for a little bit. Yeah.
So you traded for a small forward, and then you drafted 2 small forwards.
And the second round pick out of those 3 was the only one that was successful for the
my
Bucks,
goodness.
even a little bit.
But the reason I walked out of the Alexander presser wasn't why I was so mad was because A, I didn't like it to begin with. But B, I go to the presser at the Cousins Center down by the lake in like in the Bayview area, whatever, St. Francis area. I go and I'm sitting there. And somebody, I don't remember who it was, somebody asked Joe Alexander, hey, man, because he played for Bobby Huggins at West Virginia. Hey, how important was Bobby Huggins to you and your career and so forth? And Joe Alexander goes, if Bobby Huggins doesn't come to West Virginia, he goes, I don't think I even get drafted. I was done. I walked out. I got up from my chair and I just walked out. That was it. Because essentially, in my opinion, if you're going that high, I don't care who your coach is, dude, you're a stud. Like, you're a stud going in the lottery. Like, I don't care if Charlie's coaching you, that chance can come beaming through. And this dude's like, I don't think I didn't get drafted. Bob Huggins will come, which means Huggins coached him up, put him in spots to be successful, knew what he had, and coach him up. And then you put him in Milwaukee, and it was a complete blunder. Now, to his credit, he lived here forever. I mean, he was here a long time. Just like
awesome.
Ursan Ilyasova lived here a long time, too.
I love
right,
Ursan.
so... But no, I hated that Joe Alexander pick. That was a god-awful pick. I blasted that pick when it happened and for years after that. Okay, now that we've moved past that, I want to read a tweet here that I got. And I saved it from last night because I just am interested in seeing who else actually agrees with this take as well. So they tweeted at Sparky Radio. And they were frustrated with how the national media looks at the Bucks. And this is from KJK5. Okay. Why does every national media outlet, and now again, he's responding back to a clip from Keith Smith yesterday from Spot Track being on this show. Charlie made a clip, sent it out on social media, and he's responding to that. Why does every national media outlet talking head think the Bucks need a reset? They're not tapped into this team. The roster as currently constructed isn't that far off. They need a serviceable big and a gritty wing defender and maybe a guy or 2 to come off the bench. I'm curious, like, how far away from being really good do you think this team is with Taylor Jenkins coaching this team without Giannis? Like, how far away do you think they are? As far as how talented really this roster truly is. I know everybody wanted to hate on Doc and everything was Doc's fault. And, they had been so much better with Doc and blah, blah, blah. Fine. So really, how talented do you think this roster really is? As we look at how the year ended last year. Nicolay Law Talk text line 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. On the socials at WI Sports Radio, streaming live at Instagram Live, on X, on YouTube, and of course on the Fan Milwaukee Facebook page. I'll let you go first before I give you my response. How talented, how good do you think this team is? How far away do you think this team is?
if you have to say they have to add 4 players to this roster, 2 of those being 2 players that I think are instrumental to a championship team, a gritty wing defender, as you see the New York Knicks right now, OG Anunoby is doing that for them at a really high level, and then a talented big, you need that on your team too. And right now you're paying a lot of money to a Miles Turner, which he's supposed to be that talented big for you, and he's not right now. So I don't know how you're going to go get another talented big without paying more money or making a trade that doesn't really benefit you, I guess, at this moment, unless you're getting a really young player that you hope can be talented at some point. And then again, going out there and adding 4 players to change up this roster, removing 4 players then to add to this roster, that's a completely different roster. You can't say that they're so close or close to being competitive and that the roster's almost there if you need to change half of the roster, including in our scenario, moving on from Giannis too in this situation.
Well, the 414 on the Nicolay Law Talking text line, without Giannis, burn it all down.
Exactly. This team won 32 games last season. Half of those were with Giannis. There's no way this team is even remotely close to being competitive in my mind. And you said to be competing for a championship. To be competitive, they're not even that close in my mind.
I've said it numerous times, most of the time in anger and yelling at the microphone when I've said it. I'd trade every single person off of this team.
Mm-hmm. Easy.
I do not care. I am not attached to Ryan Rollins like some of you are, and I get why you're attached. Like, he had a good year, like, for sure. Most improved player consideration. I knew he wasn't going to win that, but he was in the conversation on kind of like 5th or 6th or whatever it was. So yes, he's nice, a nice player. But again, you need special players to begin with. Then you need really good role players. Then you fill out the roster after that. So for me, at least, I don't think they're off at all. I really don't. And then there's the whole Miles Turner thing. Oh, I think Miles Turner can be good. Based on what? He was horrible without Giannis. Horrible. So, like, what's going to change? If you trade Giannis, that's when he was actually okay, was when Giannis was out there. What makes you think he can carry any type of water on this team going forward? There's no chance he's a 2 or he's definitely not a 2 scorer. I don't even think he's a consistent 3 scorer in most scenarios right now. There's no way. So again, going back to what this is, if they were that close, Giannis we wouldn't be doing all this.
Exactly.
We wouldn't be doing all this. Giannis would be like,
he'd be happy.
Dude would be like, we're like 2 players away and we're good. Can you give me 2 guys? 2 guys. One's got to be high level, but 2 guys, and I think we compete for a championship. Yeah, we would not be having this conversation right now at all. And if they were that close, I don't think you only win that many games. And forget the fact that they lost games. They were getting their boots kicked in and blown out in a bunch of basketball games.
And with very little effort on their side, too. Again, it felt like a lot of the time.
But you can point that back to Doc and say he lost the team. So I'm even nice enough to even give them the pass.
From what we heard, it was also still just a bunch of selfish guys still wanting the ball for themselves and not being able to run a system in the first place. I think, yes, Doc is the main part of why the collapse happened last season. I also think that this team just didn't want to listen to him in the first place, and he got beat down a little bit and chose not to truly be there for the team. And I think that's kind of crazy that he even took the job in the first place, if that's how he was going to feel at some point, if he knew he was going to be on a team that could potentially be like this if Giannis is hurt. That's crazy to me. He's in the wrong still for the most part, but these players have blame on their shoulders too.
I will say this, that if you think that Doc Rivers is not going to have input on what this thing looks like, you're wrong. I promise you. On the way out, they talked with Doc. Hey, man, a little synopsis on all these guys. Just quick on the way out. I just want, what do you think of Kuzma? What do you think of this? What do you think of? They're going to get all that, right? They're going to have all that. And then Taylor Jenkins is going to come in. He's going to watch the tape, film. He's going to know that. He may know some guys from word around the league of who they are and what they are to deal with. But then I'm sure it's going to be, hey, man, this is what we got from Doc on the way out, what he thinks of these guys and his analysis. And Taylor Jenkins may be like, that's cool, don't care. Until I coach him, I'm not going to worry about it. Could be. Or Taylor Jenkins may hear a couple and go, nope, you can get rid of that guy then. Nope, don't want that guy then. Right? You don't want to deal with that. So be gone with yourself and go. That's all the behind the scenes stuff that, to be honest, we don't know how much of that is there. How much of that front office right now is really attached to the roster as we currently sit. We know they love Rollins. That's been reported by a bunch of different people that they don't want to move Rollins. But once we get past that, who else are they really attached to not wanting to move? If you really are, and again, I'll believe this when I see it, if you really are going to really rebuild this thing and say we're going to play with a bunch of young players, we're going to use a bunch of draft picks to build this up. It's going to be the slow go build over the course of the next 3 to 5 years, and we're going to do it the Thunder way. If that really is what this is, then everybody on this roster should be open to be traded for second-round picks, first-round picks, whatever you can get. Then go all the way and do what you got to do. Like Usay, okay, fine. Restricted free agent. If he wants to come back, fine. Bring him back. He showed you a little something when he was there. Rollins, obviously, okay, fine. KPJ, I don't know what that dude's like off the court. I don't know what he's like in the locker room, whatever. But if there's issues there, see ya. If there's not, I'm interested in keeping him. He shows
Even
you flashes.
then, though, it doesn't feel like Bucks fans are attached to it. KPJ doesn't feel like
I don't care what
really
Bucks
cares.
fans are considered attached to. I'm just saying from their standpoint.
Sometimes, though, the front office and the Bucks fans' opinions align with these players. You're talking about Ryan Rollins before. I also think if any team offers a first-round pick for Ryan Rollins, you have to say kind of yes. He has one season of being good.
Better not say no.
And it was a good season on a really bad team, which I think kind of lowers the value of that season too. You talk about Bradley Beal for the Wizards for those last couple of years that he was with them, putting up 30 points a season or a game per season, and people still didn't give him credit. I think that's what we're seeing with Ryan Rollins right now. You have to get that value maximized as quickly as possible. And if that means trading him for a first round pick, because that's what his value is, then go for it. If the value is he can help this team win potentially in the future, 3 to 4 years down the line, then yeah, you can go with that.
The other part of this is how this draft plays out. So if, like we were talking earlier, let's say this Bucks team, they trade Giannis and they end up with 2 or 3 first-round picks. And let's say you end up with multiple lottery picks and then another pick maybe in the middle of the first round. So you got 3 high-level players. You're telling me that you see a stud early in the lottery that could be essentially your point guard, and you're going to go, no, I'm going to pass on that guy and take somebody else because I got Ryan Rollins. I don't think I would do that personally. I think you take the best player available, and in literally, and I'm usually opposed to this, literally for this team right now, I don't care what position they play. I do not care. They could be a center, a forward, a guard, shooting guard, power forward, small forward, point guard. I do not care. Best player on the board, on your board, John Horst, you take. No thinking about the roster, no caring about who's going to be on the roster after free agency or not. Best players you draft, and then you build after that going forward. If they pass, I swear to God, if they pass on a point guard because they're in love with Ryan Rollins, going to lose my mind.
If Giannis isn't on this team, you can't afford to overthink anything in this draft, anything in the rest of the offseason.
No.
You can't. You just have to go and get the players that fit the direction you want to go. And in the draft, that's got to be the best player available.
From the 906, if KPJ can stay healthy, he's a starter on any team. Dude can play. I agree. Dude can play. No question. He can score. He can get out in transition, tip a couple passes, that type of stuff. Now, again, it all depends. What I don't know is I don't know these dudes behind the scenes, in the locker room, all that other stuff. But if he's a good dude, good teammate, good player, him and Rollins, it appeared we're rolling together. If that's all fine and dandy, then he's cheap too. He ain't paying him anything. So fine. We bring him back too. So I don't know. We'll see how this all plays out. I just, like I said, I'm fine blowing this thing up and starting over. I have absolutely no issue with it whatsoever. If that's what they choose to do, I will not be critical. But really, everything is going to be on Jordan Horst at that point. Like, you can talk about winning a championship as GM and all of that. There's going to be more pressure on you now than there was before you won the championship. No question, no doubt about it. There's more pressure on John Horst right now today than there was at any point leading up to that first championship.
Unless Jimmy Haslam decides to have his hands in things. And then I think, maybe outward appearance, it's pressure on John Horst, but Jimmy Haslam's going to have his hands in things.
No, it's Friday, and you're not going to ruin our Friday. Shut up about that, dude. Hey, it's not all about betting at Potawatomi Sportsbook. You got the Potawatomi Sportsbook kitchen. Amazing stuff. 40-something beers on tap right there. You have 12 or so specialty cocktails. 2 levels, 2,000 square foot center screen, over 30 sporting events you can watch at one time. It's unbelievable. Food, man. You got burgers. You got all day brunch going on. Steak and eggs, steak and bagel sandwich, pancakes, you name it. They got it over there. You got wings. You got tenders. Build your own burgers, like I said. Pastries and desserts made every day on site. They'd like us to talk about their MVP Turtle Sundae. Is it possible for a sundae to be too big?
No, not at all.
Not at all. Not possible.
Not possible.
Not possible. Make sure to check them out today, the Potawatomi Sportsbook, here at the Potawatomi Casino Hotel in Milwaukee. Must be 21 to enter the casino. Bet above the rest. And don't forget, free shuttles to and from games. Well, it's kind of free, I guess, kind of, sort of. Free parking there at the Potawatomi Casino Hotel. You can park there. Then you do have to spend $5 or more on a purchase inside the Potawatomi Sportsbook, whether it's you bet $5 on the Brewers to win the game tonight or any other day in the series, but you have to do it today. Or you get yourself something worth $5 from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Kitchen. Tell them you're going to be taking the shuttle. They give you a bracelet, and you're off to the races. And you can park for free at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, significantly less than what you're going to park for at the game. So take those shuttles to and from the game at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Charlie Sounds today coming up. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily, live from Wisconsin Sports Radio Network Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Sparky here. Welcome in. It is Wisconsin Sports Daily. Steve Sparky Pfeiffer, Charlie Usen over there, other side of the glass. Thanks for hanging out with us here on a Friday. Got some more text messages coming in from Brad. Serious question. Do we trust these guys to do a rebuild? Granted, they haven't actually drafted anybody early in the draft in years, but every big move they made kind of blew up in their face. Like what? Like the Drew Holiday move, that blew up in their face? They won a championship. PJ Tucker, they got PJ Tucker. They won a championship. Bobby Portis, they kept extending. Again, they won a championship. So the Damian Lillard thing, you want to be mad about that? That's fine. Be mad about that. Be mad about Damian Lillard and making that deal happen. But at the time, I was 100% behind it because they needed scoring because Giannis can't stay healthy. So you needed somebody that could give you more than what Middleton could give you. And they knew that. So they had to go find a better scorer. So that's what they did. And then he couldn't stay healthy himself for 2 years. There's no way to know that he was going to be hurt for 2 years. So that's one. Two, the not blowing it up and going forward, that simply does not happen when Lillard is hurt because Giannis was, I got to compete for a championship this year. I've got to compete for a championship this year. So then you have the Bucks panicking, going, oh my God, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? And they come up with the stretch and buyout or whatever of Damian Lillard. And then they go get Miles Turner trying to keep Giannis happy and trying and staying in this championship window. And then Giannis misses half the season with injuries. And then it's, oh, the Bucks are horrible. So again, I mean, yeah, you can say whatever you want, but I will always defend John Horst for doing everything in his power to try and win championships while Giannis was here. You could be critical of his draft picks. That's fine. But again, he really wasn't in the lottery. The only best pick he had a chance at was DiVincenzo, like we talk about, and he was decent. Not great, but decent. And there's been nothing to be scared about how that whole thing worked out with him leaving necessarily. He had, a half a season for New York or whatever, where he was good last year. We haven't heard from him since. So that doesn't bother me. All right, let's get to our guy over there, Charlie Usen.
What sound clips will Chicago Charlie pick today for Sparky? Will Sparky become enraged? Will laughter ensue? It's time for Charlie's Sound of the Day. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Okay, here we are. Top 3 sound clips of the day. Charlie, where are we going?
All right, so first up, we're going to head on over to the Run It Back show where Isaiah Thomas, NBA legend for the Detroit Pistons, was on, and he was discussing whether or not he likes NBA legends appearing in modern media like Michael Jordan's mini-series on NBC from this past season.
Only if they're going to be 100% honest and not promote this BS. Tell the truth about the game. Give our game truthfully, honestly, and factually to the fans so they can continue to learn and grow and love our game. But the way our game now is being talked about in some ways, it's very mythical, right? It ain't real. Like we still calling his game the flu game, and they know he didn't have the flu, but they promote it, right? They promote it, and then they historically, get into it, right? So I'm just down for honesty.
I like that.
And telling the truth about what it is that we're seeing. So if NBC is going to bring back people to talk about the game, bring the folks who are going to be honest and tell the truth, not this BS.
So I first of all want to know, so if he didn't have the flu, what was he sick with?
I'm pretty sure it was stomach flu, not just like the regular flu, and maybe that was the problem. I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure it was stomach flu.
So let's talk about Isaiah Thomas for a second, shall we?
Or food poisoning, I think is what it ended up being.
Whatever, he was sick. He was clearly sick, and I was not a Jordan fan back then, but he was clearly sick. Let's just be honest about something. I've seen it firsthand myself with Isaiah Thomas. You go to the NBA Combine back in the day when Isaiah is in the league and McHale is in the league and Bird is in the league and Jordan is in the league as an owner and all this stuff. So all these legends all come back. Kiki Vandeweghe was at the Nuggets, I think, at that point. All these dudes are in like Danny Ainge. You go to these combines year after year. You want to know what you see? You see Isaiah Thomas sitting by himself. Ain't nobody talking to that cat. Ain't nobody talking to him. Rest of these dudes are talking about golf and hanging out and doing this. And that dude ostracized over in a corner by himself. I mean, to a degree where I felt bad that the fact that ain't nobody talking to Isaiah Thomas. So he can be bitter and mad about Michael Jordan for the rest of his life and so forth. And Michael can be bitter and mad about him and all this other stuff. We know how that runs deep in both of those dudes. So when he talks, I kind of just look the other way and don't pay attention.
Don't blame you. Next up, we're going to hear from Magic Johnson, NBA legend, on First Take, talking with Stephen A. Smith about the Knicks' spot in the Giannis sweepstakes right now.
I don't want to hear no talk about Giannis or no other player coming to this team.
Not now.
Stephen A., this is a great team. I've watched a lot of basketball. The way these guys love each other, play for each other, pull for one another, you're not going to see this anywhere else. See, they don't out-talent you. They grit, toughness, that's how they beat you. And togetherness.
Hold on.
That's how they beat you.
Hold on. It's me and you talking. You know how we do. Here's the problem. You right. Now, if they had lost in the first round in Atlanta, I don't want to hear that.
We can't go back to that.
We ain't going back. But the flip side is also this. Mr. Five-time champion. You know what I'm saying? Five times.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
There we go, right?
What?
If you don't win the championship, and I'm scouring the landscape, Detroit made some mistakes. They're going to retool. Boston's going to be back with a healthy Tatum. I'm looking out west. I'm looking at look, OKC, J-Dub, A.J. Mitchell. I'm looking at San Antonio. I'm looking at Minnesota. I'm looking at Houston. I'm just saying. All I'm saying is you're telling me this team, win, lose, or draw, as presently constructed, no changes whatsoever if they don't win.
I would tend to lean with Magic Johnson that I wouldn't touch it necessarily. Maybe minor touching with the Knicks, but I wouldn't make any major overhauls because nobody in the East is going to be that significantly better where you're not going to be able to have a chance to beat them next year in the playoffs. So if I were the Knicks, I wouldn't do anything. Now, does that mean they won't do anything? No. But they win the championship? No, they're not coming after Giannis. If they blow a 3-1 lead, they're in play. They're gonna be in play because Knicks fans are gonna go nuts. That fool on TV is gonna be screaming his head off, screaming and yelling and crying on TV that they blew it. Like it's gonna be end of the world stuff for James Dolan as owner of the Knicks. They blow a 3-1 lead. So, I mean, I would enjoy it, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
And last up here, we're gonna hear from Spurs head coach Mitch Johnson on the social media reaction to the finale of Game 4.
Yeah, I can't speak for everybody else. I don't get into social media. I think I've probably been fired 212 times, and we traded Fox 72 times. And, unfortunately, we still got to show up and play tomorrow, and I got to coach. So the people that matter, we bond together. We stick together through the highs and lows. And, we were, I think, chosen to be in the play-in. And so there's a lot of things that happened. Fox and I were fortunate enough to experience All-Star Weekend together. We got a lot of positive after that. And we lost a tough game in the finals that we had a lot to do with in terms of we had control to walk that thing down. And that's what comes with the job. That's not more or less. And, people have their opinions here. They say, I don't care. I care what the people that matter in our building and our organization in that locker room, that they know how I feel and I hear them and how they feel. And De'Aaron Fox will have the basketball in his hands at the end of the game tomorrow. And I have nothing but the utmost confidence that he's going to deliver like he's done countless times for us.
De'Aaron Fox in Sacramento made a lot of dumb passes, made a lot of dumb turnovers. What you saw in that game is nothing different than what Sacramento Kings fans saw while he was there. Really, really good player, but tends to make mistakes. Just does. That's who he is. So Wisconsin Sports Daily, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Green and Gold update next.
Some shows talk about one team. Other shows barely talk sports. This show will talk Packers, Brewers, and Bucks. Every day. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily with Steve Sparky Pfeiffer on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
All right, here we are, 4 o'clock hour. Thanks for tuning in around the beautiful state of Wisconsin. As we've been talking about, bigger and better than ever now in Madison, on the Fan in Madison, 94.9 HD2. Your favorite local shows each weekday from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Plus the best in Brewers coverage with the leadoff show with Tommy Wirtz and the Potawatomi Sportsbook post-game show after Brewers games with Tim Allen and Tommy Wirtz. Keep it tuned to the Fan in Madison, 94.9 HD2. To listen to the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. And, of course, the rest of you are veterans listening around the state since, what was it, end of September, I think. Whether it be on WNFL in Green Bay and Appleton, 99.7 FM, or 710 The Game in Duluth, Superior, or 1250 AM and 105.7 The Fan in Milwaukee, or 93.9 The Game in Wausau. We appreciate y'all for listening. Hope y'all have a good weekend and enjoy yourselves. 4 o'clock means one thing and one thing only.
It's time for your green and gold update on Wisconsin Sports Daily, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network with Steve Sparky Pfeiffer.
All right, so let's talk some more about the Green Bay Packers. Got a bunch from yesterday that we never got to during our green and gold update, so I want to make sure that we get some of this other stuff out of here, out of the way, so you guys are informed as possible heading into the weekend. Matt LaFleur talked about trying to get better in late game situations, which I know for a majority of you drove you nuts throughout the Packers season last year.
I think it's just constantly being reinforced on a daily basis. We watched another thing, another tape that we made for them this morning, and just kind of keep hammering home the finish aspect. And I think the way you improve on that is you got to be conscious of it.
What was on the tape?
Just a bunch of plays from the season.
Like late game type situations? Or
There was some of that. Yeah, absolutely.
Good ones, bad ones, both?
No, it was right now it's all good. There'll be a time for
injury wise.
This is the thing. I've said this before, and they didn't listen. They really didn't listen. They had a guy there, but not good enough. They need a gray hair to help this dude in late game situations. They really do. They need somebody that's old, that's been around the league for a while, that's experienced, that's been through it, that can be on the sidelines, kind of being a voice of reason, or, hey, looking ahead here, hey, dude, you got one time out. You know, you may want to wait on this until we get down closer, or, hey, man, this is happening right now. Something like that. Now, I understand they've got all these different voices in his headset, and they're all talking to him and everything else, and he's talking to them. I mean, having somebody physically there on the sideline. They all got 100 damn assistant coaches. So make up a new position and put somebody on the sideline that can be over there. Again, like I said, kind of as a voice of reason, an elderly, stately voice that LaFleur can have over there, kind of helping him. A guy that's been a head coach in the league, even if it's college and not pros, whatever. But somebody that's been through the battles that can be over there to kind of assist him in these late situations. Because we're being honest with ourselves, the only way he's going to get better is continue to make mistakes and figure it out on his own going forward. But there are also people, I'm not saying he's necessarily one, there are also people that aren't great in pressure situations. There are people that they get scramble-brained when it's a pressure situation and they've got to make a decision in a quick amount of time. My kid hates being rushed. Like, will just freak out if you tell him, dude, we got 5 minutes. We got to go. Don't rush me. Freaking out, right? That would be my example of one that cannot handle it. But there are adults that are the exact same way. That if it's a deadline and you've got to be done by 3 o'clock, like if you get told at 10 o'clock, hey, I need this by 3, oh man, The closer it gets to the deadline, the more worried they get, the more scramble-headed they get. They like start freaking out completely. Outside smoking a cigarette, trying to go back inside and relax themselves. Those people exist. Again, I'm not saying that's him necessarily, but there are other people that thrive in those pressure situations. Or almost like their kind of heart slows down a little bit and they're just a machine and they're golden by the time this thing is done. So there are different types of people. Now, they would know better than me who that is when it comes to LaFleur in those moments, but history kind of shows that maybe he hasn't reacted or been the best in those big moments.
No. And I think when you look at kind of the way he's surrounded himself with the different coaches that have been there, it's all been his friends. So for this to happen, you have to find an old guy who's his friend. Brian Kelly was at their practice yesterday. I know a lot of people don't
Absolutely not. No.
That's not the gray hair you're looking for.
No, I don't think he even has gray hair. He doesn't even know if he's from the South or the Midwest. No.
So he brings in these guys around him. So if you're going to do that, if you're going to bring in a guy that is older than him, that's going to be that elderly statesman like you're talking about, it kind of has to be forced on him by the front office. And I think bringing in Jonathan Gannon to be his defensive coordinator is kind of their in-between on this, is that's somebody that Matt LaFleur probably wanted around, but also it's a guy who has head coaching experience around him. It's a guy that has been in these high-pressure situations with other teams. Yes, it's defensively, but still just the way you handle it and kind of calming him down. I think Jonathan Gannon can help him with those types of moments, but it's not still what you're talking about, a guy who's been around it for 40 plus years, 30 plus years.
Right. I just, for so long in the NBA, and I would have to look at the different NBA assistant coaching staffs, but for the longest time, that was always a rule. Like if you brought in a first-year head coach, even if it was Calipari's first time with the Nets or Patino's first time in the league or second time, I don't remember the Knicks, but even the Celtics, when you bring these guys in from college or as assistant coach moving up, most of the time, these owners, GMs, want a grizzled veteran coach with them, whether it's helping with the training practice schedule, whether it's training camp, whether it's late game situations. And again, being that voice of reason, because in the NBA, you get all the coaches walk out and they're huddling and they're talking and they're having this conversation about different scenarios and what you want to do. Phil Jackson, who was his gray hair? You remember with the Bulls? Tex Winter. I mean, not only was the dude brilliant and was the master behind that triangle offense, but he had the wisdom far more than even Phil did.
Well, and
Phil's strength was what? The psychologist.
Right.
That was Phil Jackson's strength. That's how his teams won. He was a master psychologist, right? Master psychologist. Bill Parcells, master psychologist. That's what it was. They knew how to poke different guys' buttons and get different guys to do what they did, what they needed them to do, but doing it in different ways for every guy, not treating everybody the same at the end of the day.
I get where you're coming from, but I also think we have to remember that Matt LaFleur isn't a first-year head coach. He's going into year 7 now. Like, this is a situation where he's not in that spot, and they did do that for him. Tom Clements was that guy for him for the start of his career as the head coach for the Green Bay Packers, and it did help him get to this point now. I think, yes, as much as I agree with you that they do need that type of presence around him, I also think this isn't like the Packers forgot about doing that. They did that before. He's a veteran head coach now. I think it's more worrisome that you need to start talking about this type of stuff than it is just saying, oh, a young guy needs a former guy around with him.
The other thing I wanted to get to from Matt LaFleur here, because there was a lot of good stuff from Matt LaFleur that I wanted to play here. He talks about a little bit on Tyrod Taylor. Now, if we're being honest, isn't what I just said the same as what he just did, bringing in Tyrod Taylor for Jordan Love? Isn't it pretty much the same thing?
Yeah, I think so. Kind of.
Okay, here we go.
A lot of value just because he's seen just about anything you can think of. And I think, he's got a really good way about himself. I think he's just trying to learn and absorb how we coach things, how we teach things, the concepts we're running. So he doesn't say a ton right now, but I think he's just trying to take it all in. And I'm sure there's going to be stuff that comes up. And I always like to get the quarterback's opinions on how they see certain things. Certainly Jordan's got a wealth of experience now too. So he feels pretty comfortable, talking about what he's seeing and why he's doing what he's doing.
I think Tyrod Taylor definitely helps from a knowledge standpoint. Helps from looking at the pad on the sidelines and doing all of that. And I think Tyrod Taylor in a game or two scenario potentially could help you win a game or two. Do I think he helps you go to the playoffs if Jordan Love misses 10 games? No, probably not. But he's definitely good enough to win a game or two. And he's definitely good enough to help be a coach in a certain way. Remember, they had Sean Mannion as the quarterback's coach, right? And that was a former quarterback that was there able to help Jordan Love. So now you have Tyrod Taylor in that room to add another presence. I think that is really, really good. From the 262 earlier, agree on all points. Vince Lombardi, master psychologist. Phil Bengston, right-hand man and strategist. Larry from Tosa on that one. Yeah. That is something that's very, very critical for a coach. But it's critical for a lot of these different places of leadership, let's say. Quarterback is going to be a leader of a football team. I don't care if you're in high school, college, pro, and to have that guy that's been through the battles, knows how to handle different situations. You know, you got a diva wide receiver yapping and screaming about wanting the ball. More than likely, that quarterback of been in the league 12 years, 13 years has been through this. We're like, dude, I went through this with whoever. This is how we're going to handle this, right? Just chill. I got this. This is how we're going to do this. That's cool. Jordan, I don't think, maybe he hasn't really gone through anything like that yet, where he's had some diva wide receiver in the breast, complaining about not getting enough balls, blah, 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 and had to work through that, right? Or having an offensive lineman that's struggling and trying to figure out how they're going to play with that situation and what to call in different situations or whatever the case may be. Yes, LaFleur is there to help, but then once LaFleur is on the field, once the game is going, he's going to need other help because LaFleur can't sit there and babysit him the whole time and help him. So a Tyrod Taylor, that helps. And I would think, we'll see, Tyrod Taylor probably is going to listen to the calls going in throughout the game to get an idea of what's going on and then be able to give Jordan Love his opinion of, hey, this was kind of the sequence. I might have checked out of this one in this sequence because they may have set this up later better than, you know, what they called for you or whatever. Who knows? I think there's a lot of knowledge that can be gained.
On the same point as LaFleur, though, didn't he have that in Aaron Rodgers to start off his career? Wasn't that what Aaron Rodgers was supposed to be around to kind of help him with? And when he had questions?
No. That's not the same thing because Love was not starting and Rodgers was not watching. All he got to do was watch.
Yeah,
now
but again,
he's
asking
on
the
field.
same kind of questions because he knows Rodgers knows about those
No,
things.
but see, and I am guilty of what you're talking about. This is how I used to think of things too when I was younger. And then I was told by former NFL players and MLB players that that's not how this works in real life. That at the pro level, most guys aren't asking questions.
I guess Kyler Murray and J.J. McCarthy are sitting on opposite side of the
most
room
guys,
right now.
Most guys that are veterans aren't going to the young guys and giving them free information. If you want information, you have to ask because nobody is volunteering information because they don't want to lose their job.
But then why wouldn't Jordan be asking, I guess? And I think Jordan Love probably was asking,
Sure.
right? That's what I think. That's why this is, again.
But I don't think that was really happening with Rodgers and Favre. I don't think Rodgers was probably asking a lot about Brett. No. But that's more common than you think, right? Because number one, you're not trying to get in this dude's way. Number one. If it's a Hall of Famer, then you're maybe a little timid about the whole situation. That's probably a dumb question. I'm just going to ask my position coach instead next time we have a meeting. That type of stuff. And you don't get all of that information. There aren't a lot of guys that are just going to voluntarily tell you stuff when you're the backup quarterback about, hey, this is how you should handle this situation. Hey, you see what I did there? This is how you got to handle it. There's not a lot of that going on, man, because everybody's scared to lose their own job. Even the Hall of Famers like Brett Favre when Rodgers comes in. Or when Rodgers comes in and Love. Now, Rodgers wasn't going to treat Love the same way that him and Favre had their relationship, so he learned because he'd been in that position. Most guys don't get to live both lives. So most guys just ignore that whole scenario and worry about themselves.
I get it. And Aaron Rodgers, I think, yes, was a little worried about it when Jordan Love was drafted, but then went and won 2 MVPs straight after that. So I guess during that
motivation.
Yeah, it motivated him. And then all of a sudden you're not as worried about Jordan Love. I guess in my mind, then you can take your foot off of his neck a little bit and be like, hey, yeah, I can work with you now. I can work with you a little bit.
No doubt about it. Last year on the practice squad, the Packers had this wide receiver, Isaiah Nair. I believe that's Nair. Yeah. On the wide receiver, in the wide receiver room. So far early on with the OTAs, mini camps, dude is standing out.
I'd say it's night and day for him. He's really shown a lot a lot of flashes of excellence. He's another big, long guy that can run. You can never have enough of those guys, especially at that position. So I'm excited about, what's to come for training camp for him.
Matt Schneidman the other day, I think it was yesterday on X, did a video talking about this might be a dude that we should watch out for in that wide receiver room that nobody was really thinking about, talking about in this wide receiver room. But when you lose two guys, you got to fill those voids. They really didn't do anything in the offseason to fill those voids in the wide receiver room. So there are a couple of spots that are wide open. If you look at this room right now, it's Christian Watson, it's Reed, it's Matthew Golden. Those are your top three. Savion Williams isn't getting cut. So there's four. Who is five and who is six at this point? Bo Melton?
Melton, Sky Moore, right?
And Sky Moore, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, I think
unless Bo Melton slots in at corner.
He's not going to. He's not. That was the dumbest thing ever. And I'm so happy I was right when I said that he's never going to touch the field as a corner.
Yeah, he definitely did not do that. But again, so we'll see what happens with him here. But if they go this route, and what I don't know is, can this dude return stuff? Is he a decent special teams player? Because you just talked about two guys that are involved in special teams as your last two receivers in the depth chart. So if he's going to make the roster, he probably has to be pretty good at special teams.
Well, and he's probably going to be fighting with other practice squad wide receivers because at the end of the season last year, the Packers had picked up a bunch of guys that they felt like could be competitive in that room too. So he's not going to be alone in this competition. But I think the way people are talking about, the way Matt LaFleur just talked about him, you got to be excited about it.
You absolutely have to be excited about it. I completely agree with you on that. Hey, Wendy's new cookie dough frosted fusion is the ultimate feel-good snack. Everything from the cookie dough to the brownie batter sauce was made for max happiness. Go grab a new cookie dough frosty fusion today and get that dopamine flowing. Get it? Dopamine. Like cookie dough. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Up next, Plead the Fifth. Your chance to nominate somebody to just hush it, quit talking, quit screwing around, and that's enough. You're embarrassing yourself, right? Plead the Fifth. Keep your mouth shut. Brought to you by Habish Rotier. Nominate away 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250, or drop something in the Dugout YouTube chat as well at WI Sports Radio. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily with Steve Sparky Pfeiffer. It is Wisconsin Sports Daily. Steve Sparky Fiver with you. Charlie using the other side of the glass. Don't forget Potawatomi Sportsbook. Get that free shuttle to and from the game. It's kind of free. I always say free shuttle, but you kind of still got to pay a little bit. But it's free parking. That's for certain. It's free parking in the garage there. Every Brewers home game. They're going tonight. Miz is on the mound, man. So you go over to Potawatomi, park in their parking garage, go over to the sports book. You got to spend $5. I would suggest spend $5 on the Crew to win. Miz is on the mound. Spend $5 on the Crew to win. Ask for your bracelet when you spend the $5 to give you your bracelet. And then you can get on the shuttle to and from the game and you're all set. Or you can spend $5 in the Potawatomi Sportsbook kitchen as well. And they got all kinds of stuff. Maybe you want to eat there and then head over to the game. That's good too. Got all day brunch going on. You got build your own burgers. You got wings. You got tenders, all kinds of fun stuff for you to eat. And then all kinds of different beer options on tap to go along with that. Check them out today again at Potawatomi.com. That's Potawatomi.com.
It's a Plead the Fifth Friday, sponsored by Habish and Rotier. Who should have just kept their mouths shut? Who made a bad decision commenting on a topic they shouldn't have? Let's hear who you think should plead the fifth this week on Wisconsin Sports Daily. Served up by Wendy's with Steve Sparky Pfeiffer.
I always look forward to this segment, Plead the Fifth, because you really get to see how dumb people are. Okay, Charlie Usen, what do we got today?
All right, so I believe Tommy is plugging in right now because we got a couple.
Tommy's going to partake in this?
We got a couple station nominees.
Okay.
The first station
I just
nominee.
wanted to listen.
By who?
If we head over to the Nicolay Law Talk text line, 44677-1250, our friend Rice Cake says, I want to make sure I get in my vote for Plead the Fifth. Give it to my boy Tommy Wirtz for his So Bad It's Good from earlier this week during the Brewers postgame show. Hashtag dong off his butt will forever go down in infamy. Also, you better play that clip. Don't worry, Rice Cake.
Oh, and William Contreras just goes down to his butt. A 3-run dong off his butt. Are you kidding me? Man, you guys know.
I'm telling you right now. No, stop. That on video is way better because literally he's talking about Contreras being on his butt. Tommy's butt comes off the chair as he's yelling into the microphone. And
Dong off his butt.
Yeah, prior to that happening, Tommy's coming out. It's a highlight package. And we're coming out of break and blah, 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 blah. And all of a sudden you see Charlie raise his hands and start smiling. And then Tommy goes crazy.
I have no regrets on dong off his butt. I have
good.
zero. You better hope Jake Bauer stays standing every time he hits a homer. Because if he goes down to his butt, I mean, that's ridiculous. Are we going to make dong off his butt shirts?
I think we gotta.
Can we do that? Why not? As long as it's only 2 colors.
One color, baby. Maybe not 2 colors. Maybe just 1 color. Might be the better option.
Plead the fifth, Sparky telling us that.
Maybe just one color. No need to have more than 1 color.
No, man. Dong off his butt is that's probably like the best thing I've ever said on radio now at this point. I don't know if I'm pretty dumb, so I don't say many good things on that.
So you admit it's better than your Jake Bauer's takes?
No.
You just said it was the best thing you've said.
I didn't say it was the most correct thing I've said on the radio.
That's your point.
Well, it was definitely correct.
Dong off his butt.
Was correct, yeah. All right, what else you got?
This isn't officially a Plead the Fifth, but on YouTube yesterday when I posted the video of Keith Smith joining you here on Wisconsin Sports Daily, Charles in the YouTube comments, and I'm making this a Plead the Fifth for him, he says, dude, it's called SPO-Track. It's short for Sports Tracker, not Spa Track.
Wrong. We've had the owner of that on, and he calls it Spa Track, not Spo Track. So I'm glad you tried, Charles, but you're wrong. The owner came on, and Charlie will attest to it. He said it's called Spa Track, not Spo Track.
Spa Track.
Because I used to call it Spo Track all the time and found out I was
So pretend
wrong.
like it's an A. Spa.
Right.
Spa Track.
Correct.
Okay.
Now, again,
I don't know if I knew that.
I didn't know that because I said Spo Track, and he corrected me on the air and said, no, it's Spa Track. Okay. Sounds good. Whatever. It's your website. Call it what you want. Doesn't matter to me. We should get him back on. I got his number. Get him back on and have him say it again.
Yeah.
All right, good. What else?
And next up here, we're going to head on over to Texas Tech University, where Texas Tech and all of their leaders decided to make a response to all the Brendan Sorsby news yesterday. This is posted from the Texas Tech account.
Oh, boy.
This is their president giving a message about their decision to let Brendan Sorsby play for them.
President Skuvenek, we'll start with you. You're the boss. As you look at this, what is the issue and how we are addressing it as a university?
Well, I think everybody should realize that first and foremost, our decisions in this matter have been guided by a conviction we have at Texas Tech, and that is we stand by and we support our students.
Oh, God.
Now, Brendan made a mistake. We acknowledge that. And mistakes have consequences. At the same time, here's a young man with a dream and a vision to pursue a career. And we felt not to have the opportunity to pursue that career, given the circumstances and the evolving changes in this world that these athletes face, was unfair and unjust. So we are attending, first of all, to his medically diagnosed condition, and we are prepared to support him as he pursues that career that he's spent his whole life working toward. That's what we do at Texas Tech. And as a parent and a leader in higher ed, I would ask that you look beyond the athletics issue in here and look to the individual who has been the center of this whole matter.
That was 1 minute and 12 seconds of a 21.5 minute long video that they posted. That was all full of BS.
Okay, so
3 people.
So hold on. Let me just say this. I'm a firm believer in this, and I don't know about y'all, but I've lived enough of life to have this be true. Karma will eventually even things out. It's going to. I don't know how, but I'm just telling you, karma eventually evens thing out. Life will fix this fiasco that we have here with Sorsby.
What if they win the Natty?
No chance. No way.
Well, what if they do?
They won't.
What if Sorsby just put down a bet on it too?
That would be.
I just don't understand how he
he
bet on Indiana. He played 10 games at Indiana.
Well, it's not,
like it wasn't that he didn't play. It's not like he was a bench warmer. Oh, he's on the roster. He never played. He played. He played. He threw, I think, like 500 passes in his career there.
And to say it was a mistake, like that's crazy. That's absolutely insane to be like it's a mistake. He bet 600 times, $60,000 over that period of time. Like that's not one mistake.
Wins?
Probably not. Would be my guess.
I would assume.
But see, now this is the issue. If you're the starting quarterback and you're betting against yourself that your team's going to lose, that's a bigger red flag than betting for your team to win. Like if Miz said, I'm betting on myself at Potawatomi Sportsbook every time I pitch, I'm going to go down there and drop $5,000 that we're going to win the game because I'm on the mound. I'm not going to bet any other time, but when I'm starting, I'm going to go bet $5,000. Who would have a problem with that?
MLB, because Pete Rose, that's supposedly what happened with him.
Correct.
Yeah, but he also was betting on his team to lose at some points, didn't he?
I don't think they ever proved that he was.
Well, I think
he always says that he bet for them to win. He bet on himself to play well. Yeah.
I would guess that we would know if Sorsby bet on them to lose, if that already had happened, because we continue to figure out like he was betting on some weird stuff, man, along the way. Like, I don't know. It was like there could have been a croquet match in India, and he was like, I'm going to throw a bet on it.
Again, you can be addicted to gambling.
Yeah.
That's a clear addiction that you can be addicted to gambling and not know how to stop. That's absolutely a thing. But that's not what he's being treated for, correct? He's being treated for mental health. Is that what the issue is?
Yeah, mental health issues. But at the same time, like, yes.
But it's because of the gambling addiction.
He's
he went to a gambling rehab.
And for them to say that, like, that's awesome that they helped him get to that point.
Can you tell me what happens at a gambling rehab?
It's probably like what you see in movies where they sit in circles, talk and stuff. See how, like, talk about how it ruined their life.
Charlie should talk because I'll say something insensitive.
Like drug and alcohol rehab, I get how that works, right? They dry you out and all of that. Gambling rehab, is that probably the same thing?
Probably not allowed to have your phone. Would
probably
be
a lot
guess.
of therapy
Definitely
going
can't
on.
have a phone.
Again, sitting in these group sessions
and
talking about, I think it's probably
there's like always someone worse than you in those places, right? Where you go and you hear a story that's like that impactful, I'm sure.
Damn, man. I mean, they would have to pull TVs out too, wouldn't you?
Well,
because I mean, if I'm in there and if I'm addicted to gambling, I'm in there with a bunch of other dudes that are addicted to gambling and we got a game on. I mean,
you're not talking to each other, making up your own bets.
Yes, you are.
I think you probably do have some TV. You want to like acclimate them to something, and you don't need to gamble to watch it. Like that probably is
Watch The
something
Simpsons
too.
all the time or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe.
Like
I
just
don't know.
like throw out again, just normal TV
I don't know.
sitcoms.
I was
and
just
stuff.
curious. I was just asking. I'm sure somebody
Well,
will
and then
chime
the
in
other
if they've been
part
through
of it that's like all problematic is it's just like now he's going to get paid $5 million to play the sport
Right.
too. Like
Yes.
what?
All right, what else we got?
All right, next up here, I mentioned this earlier, and I didn't know if I wanted to put this in Plead the Fifth because I thought you'd probably disagree with a lot of the people that were commenting on Darius Acuff. He was on the Draymond Green show, and he was
No,
discussing only
bad
wanting to
choice.
guard point guards because that's his matchup.
You can ask any of my coaches in college, no matter, how much like my defense, mistakes that I made every night, if they tried to put me on a 2 or a 3, I'm like, man, I'm not guarding no 3. Like I play the point, man. I'm guarding the point guard, man. Like, especially if it's like a matchup. Like you not like if I'm not guarding you, you not guarding me. It ain't, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no matchup. We just hooping out here. So I'm definitely one of the guys I like to guard my matchup for sure because I don't want nobody to get off, more than me. So
Sparky, you're an old. So I want to ask you because
You're an old. I don't like that.
He's probably going to swear after it, but that's okay.
I just wanted to
You're an
say,
old bleep.
I
I get it.
I just feel like as of late, did NIL really boost these egos in college athletes, or has it always been this egregious with the
Brian
top?
Bosworth, there's a whole
Yeah. I mean,
thing
I
about
get
a
that,
documentary
but now it feels like anyone can be the high ego college athlete with the
Okay.
money that comes in.
So people are talking about Darius Acuff. Why would the Bucks work him out? The assumption is, well, they're going to trade up. They're going to have to trade up to go get him. I don't know, man. Like, you listen to that?
Yeah.
I mean, you remember Jabari Parker when he did that interview and he was like, I don't care about defense. I care about scoring. That's how you survive in this league. Nobody cares about your defense in this league. He shot himself right in the foot. Every coach in the league was like, yeah, screw you. We ain't playing with that. We're not dealing with that.
The Bucks.
If this dude is going in team interviews and saying stuff like this, you want to talk about sinking your value, that's what's happening. So maybe he is going to fall in this draft somewhat, and maybe the Bucks will have a chance if they end up with 8 and 10 to potentially get him at 8 because of his attitude
What if it's
of
like,
how he's talking.
It's like Haslam is just telling him, hey, like, just keep saying the wrong things in all the interviews.
That would be brilliant. So there's no way that happened.
Well, and Draymond followed this up
Great
in this
idea.
clip talking about it. He was like, well, you should probably want to play defense in the NBA. If you're going to like get drafted by any of these teams, you should be willing to play anywhere you can to get on the court. So he kind of said it in a nice way, like, that's stupid. Don't say that. Don't tell people that.
Because that's how Draymond made it in the league in the beginning.
He
Was his
he don't
defense.
even play offense, really.
No.
Yeah.
So, I
He
mean,
was a
defense was how he made it.
Sharpshooter for a season at one time.
I'm telling you right now,
2015.
if that dude's in a locker room with Draymond Green, the player, and he says, I'm not guarding anything but a 1.
He's getting punched. Dude. That's not what happened with Jordan.
I don't even know if Jordan Poole said that much.
No, I don't think he did.
He might get drop kicked by Draymond Green.
Not good.
Yeah.
Not good. Okay.
I have one more. This is from the NBA Finals the other night. This is Ben Stiller, director and actor, saying that the Knicks just give him courtside tickets.
Hey, Ben, you're not a fair weather fan because number one, thank you for the love you shown our show all these years. Forever. But you like a real fan. Like a lot of these other freeloaders, they just showing up because the Knicks are doing good. How long have you actually been a season ticket holder?
I don't have a season ticket. I get the tickets. The celebrity, they give us the tickets.
Ben, stop lying.
I don't think I could afford the Knicks season ticket front row. No, I'm lucky. No, I think it's because I've been coming for so long, that they feel I'm a loyal fan. Our family's been coming forever. So I'm lucky enough to get that. And, but I've been coming since, I'm probably like 1974.
Wow.
I remember.
Draymond was not born.
Yeah. With my dad, meeting the Knicks. I remember when I was 8, 9 years old being here.
Let me see if I got this right. You've been going to games since 1974. You are loaded financially. Or at least that's the assumption we all have, that you are loaded financially.
He's one of the most popular directors right now and then actors all time.
You love the New York Knicks. You've never had season tickets? Does that make any sense to anybody?
Do we want to take a guess on what Ben Stiller's net worth is?
Too much.
More than me.
200 million.
Yeah, that's too much.
That's still enough to afford season tickets. Even in New York, even at the Knicks games, still have that, going forward.
Even on courtside, too. That
Yes.
was what he was saying. Was like, I can't afford the courtside season tickets. Yes, you can, dude. Shut up.
Yeah, you can. He absolutely can. Right.
What movie do you guys think of when Ben Stiller's name pops up?
No idea. Couldn't tell you.
You don't have a single movie that pops into your head?
I'm not a big movie guy, so probably not. No.
I mean, you've heard of Ben Stiller, right?
Yes, yeah. I
Ned
know
at
what
the
he looks
museum.
like.
You never took the kids to see Ned at the museum?
No, I've seen it, but I'm not taking the kids.
I always think of Happy Gilmore.
Yes,
also.
Happy Gilmore, great movie.
Right.
Ben Stiller's just awesome.
Doesn't pay for tickets, though.
Yeah, that's true. That makes him a little less awesome.
Tommy Wirtz over here. He's coming up from 5 to 6:30 with the leadoff show. Get you ready for Brewers and Phillies tonight. The Phillies sang out an opener out there. And
Tanner Banks.
Correct.
Stinger.
We had Connor Thomas on earlier from Lockdown Phillies. And I asked him, I'm like, hey, man, is this common? Like, you guys running a lot of openers out there in these games? He said, very, very rare. But Painter has been so bad that they're trying to get him to go a little bit deeper in the game by giving him an opener in front of him. So we'll see what happens. And Nola has been awful for Philly as well. He's tomorrow. So that Sanchez-Harrison matchup, in a perfect world, the Brewers already got the first 2 games of the series, and it doesn't really matter what happens in game 3. That's in a perfect world. That's what you want to see, I think, happen at the end of the day. Coming up next, follow the money. Austin Herdina. Is he wearing the same shirt and tie again this week?
Maybe 3 weeks in a row.
I feel like every Friday he's got the same shirt and
you're
tie
shaking
on.
his head no.
Do you
probably
think like in
lives.
his you think in his closet he has Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
That would be so
and it's
baller.
all labeled?
That would be pretty
Yeah, just all $500 shirts with his $1,000 ties.
Right.
You know, I'm sure he does.
And then like his maid, puts it all nice for him in his in his walk.
Austin actually was at the Knicks game. He got tickets for free. The Knicks just gave it to him.
So next to Taylor Swift, yeah.
He was the one next to Taylor Swift.
Dude, don't
awesome.
get this guy in trouble with Kelsey. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. Powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Sparky here. I gotta think. When Tommy Wirtz gets his own show, this will be the theme music,
Yeah,
right?
I think so.
Yeah.
This
think
version
so.
too. Like
Yes.
I love this version. This thing is perfect for Tommy.
Such a good song. Habish and Rotier, they want to be your friend too. If you are in that time of need, hurt in a car accident, or confused, nervous, scared, those are the emotions you'll go through, like I did. I got my bad car accident. Same thing. Go to Habish.com. National reputation, hometown service. National reputation. They've won a bunch of cases. They ended up making some laws, safety laws in the state of Wisconsin because of cases they won at Habish and Rotier. 13 locations around the state. Been doing it for almost 100 years. Talking about high-level type lawyers that we're talking about here. They have them at Habish and Rotier. And again, the one thing I always say, you don't want to walk out of a lawyer office and be like, did they listen to anything I said? Because I kind of felt like they were just waiting for the appointment to get done so they could go on and talk to their next client. That doesn't happen here. They're approachable. They want to help you get what you deserve, and that's the most important thing. So all you have to do to get a hold of them, if you ever need them, hopefully you won't ever need them because you won't get hurt in a car accident or anything else like that. Habish.com, Habish and Rotier, national reputation and hometown service. Joining us now is this dude.
It's time to follow the money with Austin Herdina, the sportsbook manager of the Potawatomi Sportsbook on Wisconsin Sports Daily on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
There he is. That looks like the exact same shirt and the exact same time.
That one looks green for real this time.
Man, they've all looked green.
The other ones were black.
He keeps saying it's black, but they all look green to me. I need glasses. I have glasses, but that doesn't help me with color. Hi, Austin. How are you?
This one is gray with a bluish gray tie. It's close. I don't know what the color deal is, but no, it's gray today.
It's gray today. One of these days, Charlie and I are going to drive down there to confirm that your color is actually correct. Maybe you don't see color correctly, and that's the issue that we're having here. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe you never knew it, and Charlie and I can help.
Like dog color blindness, where everything's black and white, so maybe everything just looks gray and black.
Come see me in person so you can let me know.
I've never heard of that in my life, Charlie. I don't know what you're talking about.
Color, that's like with dogs. They don't see color. They only see things in black and white. You've never heard that before?
It's because Austin's got that dog in him.
Austin's got that dog in him. Yeah, that's absolutely correct. Yes. Austin Herdina, where's all the money going at the Potawatomi Sportsbook today?
I'll tell you what, people are hammering the Brewers. It's a big money line price, minus 265 right now. If you give 1.5 runs, it's only minus 113. And everybody seems to be coming in today and betting on pitching props tonight of Mizorowski getting 9 or more strikeouts at minus 103. It's a very popular bet today. I personally think 9 is pretty high. I mean, he's obviously playing lights out right now, but Philly's got some good bats. I don't know if he's going to get 9, but everyone's betting it.
So every time the Brewers win, you say y'all lose at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. So at what point do you get yourself a Ms. Voodoo doll to start poking? At what point? Because he must have cost you a lot of money so far this year.
Yeah, I mean, not just this year, but even last year. No, yeah, it's true. Every time the Brewers win, it's going to be a rough day for us. But at the same time, we're Brewers fans. I mean, everyone that works here, we all want the Brewers to win as well. So, we'll take it. We'll find our wins elsewhere.
How's the money been going on the NBA Finals for y'all? Are you guys ahead, behind, even? How has that played out for the Potawatomi Sportsbook?
It's been pretty good for us so far. It seems like every game, people are hammering the Spurs. Like, we are lopsided. We have been wanting the Knicks. Whether it's futures for the NBA Finals, whether it's game by game, it just seems everyone's on the Spurs. Even right now, Spurs at 4-1 to win the Finals. People are still betting that. They're down 3-1 right now in the series. They have 2 out of 3 games at home, but I think it's going to be pretty tough for them to come back and win Game 6 in New York. I see them getting it done tomorrow night, but not Game 6.
How much fun would it be to see that happen, though? Could you imagine Stephen A. Smith and New York Knicks fans if they blow a 3-1 lead in the NBA Finals? Oh, it would be marvelous. I would really enjoy it. All right, where's the next game? Where's all the money on the next game?
You know what? We got a lot of different stuff. We got USA Soccer tonight in the World Cup.
People have been betting on USA Soccer against Paraguay.
Yeah. Why not? World Cup tonight, USA plus 105 to get it done.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, we got the room decked out. We got US flags all over the place. We got reservations for tonight. If you want to come on in, go to
Got a party going on?
Yeah, we got a big watch party tonight.
Nice.
It's gonna be awesome. Yeah. Tomorrow night, NBA Finals. Sunday night, Stanley Cup Finals. I mean, it's just UFC 250 as well Sunday. So
I heard.
250.
Ooh, UFC! You guys turn up the sound for that too, so you get some volume going on that, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. So Sunday night at the White House, it's going to be quite the card. 7
I forgot
fights
about
on
that,
the main card. A lot of good fights. So if you want to come on in, make sure you get your reservations for that too.
That's a beautiful thing. Austin Herdenia, Potawatomi Sportsbook manager, Potawatomi Sportsbook. No place better to watch sporting events than the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Check them out, Potawatomi.com. Like he said, if you want to get reservations, you can do that at Potawatomi.com as well. Mr. Herdenia, have a good weekend with whatever color shirt you decide to wear.
Thanks, guys. And lastly, favorite Ben Stiller movie, Heavyweights. Want to throw that in there.
Never saw
That's
it.
the one where they go to fat camp, dude. That's a great one. It's got Keenan Thompson in it too,
Did
right?
you say fat camp?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And who's the guy from Mighty Ducks? The guy who kind of
it would not be made in today, but in the 90s,
No.
it went great.
I'm feeling skinny, Tony.
Sparky, you gotta watch it.
You gotta watch it, Sparky.
Okay.
Yeah.
Austin, thank you. Appreciate it. Didn't see the fat camp thing coming, but you never know what happens when Tommy Wirtz and Austin Herdenia get together. That's what happens. Leadoff show powered by me is coming up next from 5 until 6:30. I cannot wait to see what the lineup is. I really cannot wait. I'm going to bring Tommy back on again. Am I going to be happy or am I going to be mad with whatever this lineup looks like?
I don't know. I think I did see the lineup and I kind of forgot it now. I don't know if I looked hard enough.
Let's see. I'll go look at it.
Ooh. Wow. It is juicy.
Yeah. This is looking pretty good.
Looking good?
It's looking good.
Thank God.
You
Good.
think so?
Good.
I think
That's
so.
good. That's good.
Oh, wow.
I know this. If Vaughn was starting at third base, you would come running in here and be like, guess what?
It's
Guess
not that
what?
good. It's not that
It's
good.
not that. It's not that good.
I will say that Renhefo's not playing.
So what? I mean, it's Ortiz is. So what? Who cares? Tommy Wirtz over there. Charlie Hughes in here. The Miz on the mound tonight. Must watch TV. And then after that game is done, after the last pitch, you make the switch to Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Tim Allen, the franchise returns from his trip to Vegas tonight, along with Tommy Wirtz. Make sure to tune that in this evening. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Also, don't forget tomorrow morning, Garbedian on golf from 9 to 11 with Chuck Garbedian. And then from 7 to 9. Yeah, 9 to 11 is College Sports Weekly, whatever. Did you hear Robbie? Did you hear Robbie today?
No.
They had an over-under on how many mistakes he would have running the board. The over-under was 3. At 11 o'clock, he was already at 3, including leaving Coon's mic on during a commercial break. Enjoy your weekend, Wisconsin. Toodles!